Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children above ages, you are now tuned into the world's most dangerous podcast. Well, one half of it. At the moment, you already know who I am. Ill Will Hayes, the habitual line stepper, Willie Camosi. Having some technical difficulties. It's all good. Waiting on my co-host, my partner in crime, Mr. Idol. And right now, I'm having issues with my computer. I don't know why, but it's messing up. So, hold on. Bubba, close the door, baby. Daddy trying to do a podcast here. You jumping in, Daddy trying to do a podcast. So I got the partition up. She just can't be running in here asking me questions. So this is what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, App Store interrupted restart. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with my. This is one of those things. We're gonna force quit everything. So right now, we usually would be in the studio doing the recording and recording the podcast, and then I mix it down and I give it all to y'all. But right now, what's happening is we are all under lockdown. And we can't do anything right now. We got to be social distance. We got to be, I don't know, like 1 meter away from people. We don't know what's going on. So we decided we're going to do the podcast remotely. So we're just waiting on Idol to come in here. As you can see, this is the live broadcast of I Want All the Smoke. And yeah, he's having internet issues too. That's my phone. Yeah, he's having internet issues too. So that's crazy. So what we're going to try and do, I'm going to put a link in the comments, and hopefully if y'all click on the link, if y'all got a camera and everything like that, you could jump in with myself and Idol when he gets here, and then we can talk some shit. So there's a lot of shit that we're going to want to talk about. We're going to talk about I want to talk about COVID, of course. You know what I'm saying? That's on everybody's minds. Everybody's talking about the COVID virus. I definitely want to talk about Lil Wayne, talking about how Lil Wayne says that he did 50 some odd songs in one night. I don't know. That's kind of a stretch, don't you think? Like, where are my rappers out there? How long does it take y'all to do a song? You know what I'm saying? So let me get up in here. I'm going to put this in the comments right now. We're going to invite y'all to copy to the clipboard. Boom. Boom. There we go. So now y'all can see, click the link to join. If you want to jump in, if you want to have a conversation with us, this is actually the first time we're actually doing the podcast live. This is going to sound weird when you're listening to it, but hey, it's what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers going crazy. I want to talk to motherfuckers. Have you been to the store? Have you met anybody that actually has this virus? Have you met anybody that has COVID twice removed or anything like that? It seems like a lot of celebrities are getting it too. I don't know why the celebrities are getting it so much. I mean, they be hanging around with everybody like that. So yeah, it's one of those things where yeah, so let's get into some shits. First of all, thank everybody for joining. Let's see what Tavis is saying. We still waiting on him. Do you think we got more stuff? Gonna reset the router. Okay, coolio. All right, so there's a lot of things coming down right now. Let's talk about this. Is the COVID conspiracies? You see them all over the place. Everybody on Facebook is a motherfucking expert on the COVID virus. Everybody's an expert on the conspiracy theories, and everybody wants to say now they're saying that the COVID virus is linked to 5G. Now, if you don't know what 5G is, it's the next iteration of your cellular network. So first you had CDMA and all that extra stuff, and then it went up to 4G, 3G, and 4G, and 5G is the next level. It's supposed to give you like blinding internet speeds. It's supposed to give you all that shit. But they're saying that 5G actually affects your cells and actually affects the oxygen in your system and shit like that. Hold on. That's probably better. Yeah, it affects the oxygen in your system. It says like a lot of this virus is caused by the actual 5G networks. Now there's rumors going around that Wuhan, China was the first launch point of 5G for experimentation. And that's how this shit started. So I want to know how y'all feel about this conspiracy theory with the Wuhan virus. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where everybody wants to believe some kind of hype. But at the end of the day, we don't know what's truth and what's fake. So, but I made a little mistake. First of all, what we need to do before we even start the show, we have to give you somewhat of the intro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who listens to I Want to Smoke knows about the knows about this here. You got this little thing here.
Call me Mr. Chimney.
So you know what? Let me see if let me get the I Want All the Smoke intro for y'all motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And then after we do the intros, here we go. I Want All the Smoke intro. Peep this and let's do this here.
Network production.
Any of you radio personalities think you want smoke?
Smoke.
Call me Mr. Chimney. I want smoke.
You are now tuned into the motherfucking greatest. I Want All the Smoke.
Y'all used to it now, right? There you go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children above ages. You are now tuned into the world's most dangerous podcast. I Want All the Smoke. I am your illustrious host, Will Hayes, and I would be joined on one side by my co-host, Idol, aka Big T, aka Mr. Vegas. But Idol is currently having some issues with his internet. So without any further ado, I guess I'm gonna have to give you my AKAs. They call me Will Hayes, aka the habitual line stepper, Willie Camosi, aka the aristocrats. We drinking with our pinkies up. Cheers to all you people out there. If you social distancing, cheers to everybody who's social distancing. We out here, you know what I'm saying? We trying to do it big for y'all. We trying to have some fun. We're trying to keep y'all locked in. So cheers. Oh, it's nasty as fuck. AKA Illuminati Giuliani, the mayor. AKA I'm knocking on some doors and I'm looking for some whores. Will Hover's witness. AKA my mouth is a curse, but my tongue is a blessing. If shorty acts up, I'm a teacher of a lesson. Will Hover's witness. The silver tongue gorilla. AKA Beware the Ramsacks, the last Boy Scout. AKA
Call me Mr. Chimney.
Because I bring the smoke in many flavors. Young shisha, hairy hookah. Yeah. So I want y'all to, if you can see, I got these little overlays, like you can see right here. I want to smoke over here, this, that, I want to under Instagram. So visit our Instagram. You know what I'm saying? We on Facebook right now. We on YouTube. We're doing live broadcasts right now. We have a whole lot of shit going down. I'm just trying to pass the time until my partner in crime comes to this motherfucker. Send me the stream. Y'all link in the messenger. Yeah. So hold up. Let me send this. I'm send my nigga the link. We go like this. Bang. Copy. Bang. We going here. Bang. Where? Here we go. I'm sick and tired of the internet. The internet's down or something like that. Is anybody else out there having issues with their internet? You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody on quarantine. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's on quarantine. Everybody's watching TV, streaming their fucking shows and shit like that. Everybody's playing their fucking games, their Xbox, their PlayStations and shit, and it's fucking up the internet for the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us have to go on. We have to earn a living. This is how we earn a living on the internet. And y'all motherfuckers is fucking it up for the rest of us. Cheers to y'all niggas fucking it up. So let's talk about some new shit. Jay Electronica. Album came out last week. We reviewed it. I thought it was a dope album. I put it up on Facebook about how much I enjoyed the album. And it turns out I may be the only nigga in 2020 that enjoys this album. I got feedback, I got backlash, I got told that I don't even know what real hip hop is. You know what I'm saying? I got told that I don't know what real hip hop is. The album was trash, the beats were trash, nobody enjoyed it. What the fuck is wrong with me? Let me add a banner here. Hold on. That shit typing like a motherfucker. You can hear that typing and everything. So did you like the album? Let's talk about the Jay Electronica album. A lot of people are saying that Jay Electronica had so much Hove on the album because he couldn't carry an album by itself. But right now, we got my partner in crime. He's here.
What up? What's going on, man?
Going crazy. What's up, fam?
Pretty good. Chilling.
Yeah. So your internet was trashing up, huh?
Yeah, it was messed up. I restarted the router though. It was all good now.
Yeah, mine was doing the same thing. There's something going on with the internet. I was just saying, like, I think a lot of people are in here. A lot of people are like streaming. A lot of people are doing a lot of shit, right?
I was just
so right now we can't.
I was just like, fuck, rolling out those 5G towers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. 5G towers. That's what getting niggas sick. That's what getting niggas sick.
Exactly.
But without any further ado, listen. This is what is fucked up. I've been trying all day. I'm talking from 6 o'clock in the morning to figure out how to get Cubase to record internal audio and separately recording this mic. And it was the most complicated shit, and it fucked me up. So I said, fuck it. I was going to go to the studio and grab everything. I'm doing that. Like, I'm grabbing everything that we have at the studio. I'm bringing it here so we can do that shit properly. But at the end of the day, we're just going to record the audio from this. So hopefully we sound good. Hopefully we sound all right. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sure people will understand. You know, when you watch those the news shows like the sports, but they're like live on set, and it never sounds as good as in the studio, but they're fucking on set. True. Like, that's what we're doing right now, man. This is like we in the front lines.
We here. So I got
COVID.
I don't have the front lines. We quarantined. They can't keep us down. I had to get like real lighting in here. I had to get the light from the outside in here.
Yeah,
you know
thank God
you got a little bit more lighting. A little more lighting.
It's day. Thank God we did this shit in the day. Things look good,
right?
Because where am I gonna get a light right now? I mean, I could have ordered it like online, but.
Oh, what's up? Yo, King Khan's on here. King Khan said it sounds good, so we appreciate you, family. Thank you very much. But for now, I do have the soundboard here. It's just gonna be playing through the mic, so I think we could do your AKAs.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Idol, aka T, aka Tinfoil Hat T.
Tinfoil Hat T.
AKA Big E. I've only been there once, but they already call you man Mr. Vegas. No. Killing with your nose. AKA Titty Boy, because I love them titties,
boy. Say it again for the niggas with low bandwidth.
AKA Titty Boy, because I love
them titties, boy.
Titty boy. I'm just letting it buffer for those niggas. For the broke niggas.
I get you. This is going to be the most awkward podcast ever.
AKA Money Making Mitch, AKA Trinitron Don, AKA Swing Low Sweet.
Here, nigga.
Here,
nigga.
Yeah, there we go. They're in there. I figured I'd do that. I was going to just cut off your stream. I'm like, nah, that won't work. Just cut the nigga's stream right off.
AKA Where the Weed At, AKA the nigga that bring the bottle. The nigga that lead the bottle. Repping that smoke, mind state to the line.
Nope.
Yeah.
I think
the sync is gonna be hard, right? Because
there's a little bit of a delay there, so I don't even think we're getting this shit at the same time. So we sound corny as hell. Fuck it, but we'll try and give it. Okay.
I'll
and I did it before. I'm gonna do it again. It's your boy Will Hayes, aka the habitual line stepper, Willie Camosi,
murderer,
aka the aristocrat, because we drinking with our pinkies up. Cheers.
Toodaloo, motherfuckers.
AKA the mayor.
Hear ye.
The Paul Revere.
The red
Illuminati
coats are
Giuliani.
The truth.
AKA I'm knocking on some doors. I'm looking for some whores.
Whores here.
Will Hover's witness. AKA my mouth is a curse, but my tongue is a
hallelujah.
Amen. Praise. AKA my mouth is a curse, but my tongue is a blessing. If Shorty acts up, I'm a teacher a lesson. The silver tongue gorilla.
Rah.
AKA
beware of the ramp sex.
The last Boy Scout. AKA
call me Mr. Chimney.
Cause I bring the smoke in many flavors.
Young shisha. Harry hookah.
I don't know who's behind if it's me or you. I'm trying to catch up off of me. So it was how was your week, man? It was a busy ass week for me. How was your week?
It was pretty busy for us too, man. Unfortunately, we're like one of the small businesses getting swept up in the closures and everything kind of closing down. So I've just been at home trying to get as much online as possible. You know what I mean? Just at least keep things going that way. So yeah, man, just been busy with that all week. I've been like pretty good on my self-isolation. I haven't really left too much. So it's good. I made sure to stock up pretty well. So we've been pretty comfortable. A little bit of planning, a little bit of planning errors I've been finding, you know what I mean? But we'll definitely get it because, you're not expecting. It's just hard to shop for a couple weeks at a time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then
like usually you're shopping for a
something.
week and
yeah,
usually you're shopping for a week, grabbing what you need for dinner for the next couple of nights. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared to eat out. I don't know what I'm getting. It's like I'm shopping for 2 weeks and I don't know, like the grocery store doesn't have regular shit no more.
Yeah, I know, because you got to get like all kinds of weird shit. So
you know
that's the good thing. We don't, because I made sure to shop, and of course I was, as you know, as anybody from the podcast would know, I was one of the early fucking adopters of as far as the mindset of this shit is going to be some serious shit. We were talking about it long before any kind of closure happened or anything. So I actually was buying things week after week. So I've got a good little thing going. I haven't gone shopping since they did, like since all that, since the grocery stores were rammed because everybody panicked. I've only been there once. And then I feel like a piece of shit because one time I was in there like getting a Twix, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, I'm going to fight the infected crowds for a Twix. I need one. So
like grocery store Twix though?
Well,
like you don't got no corner stores in the hood?
No, man, I'm just okay. So I'm exaggerating. I grabbed a couple other things, but the fact is a lot of it was treat based. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, true.
Like, yo, we don't even have no chips in this motherfucker. We don't got a nothing for. We're about to sit around and watch 30 movies. No chips.
Yeah, exactly. No snacks.
Yeah,
none.
Like, fuck it. Hey, I'm still doing okay, but I got to admit, man, when you're stuck at home bored with nothing but movies to watch, choices is hard. I'm still don't eat my money because I definitely ain't eating out. Just cause
we had McDonald's last night, and I don't know what feels worse, the fucking Wuhan or fucking Big Mac sitting in the bottom of my fucking stomach, man. I don't even know why we went to fucking McDonald's. It was like we went for a drive yesterday, and I went to pick up something from the studio. Like I'm stupid as fuck. Like I went to pick up something from the studio. It wasn't there. I realized I already had the bitch. So we went to the fucking where did we go? We went to the Mac store, you know what I'm saying, down in the hood and shit like that. There's like nobody in the Mac store. You know what I'm saying? Baby girl got a Slurpee. I got my little spicy water thing and everything like that. We got chips and shit from there. But then it's like, oh, let's go to McDonald's. She's like, I don't feel like cooking. I'm like, oh, I could cook. No, as soon as the fucking 6-year-old heard McDonald's, it's a wrap.
It's like,
she don't want nobody's cooking. As her heard McDonald's, I was like,
yeah.
You know what
I
mean?
I can't lie. We've ate out once since it.
Yeah.
We ate out once. Like I can't lie. Like I do feel a little bit of a way. Do you know what I don't feel as bad with? Like when I go to fucking Diegla. Yeah, exactly. Not only do they always have fucking gloves, but you can see them. You know what I mean? That you're watching them make it. Like I know now I don't think any restaurants are open, unfortunately, but that was one of the last things I ate because I was like, I could see the motherfucker. He wasn't sick. He had gloves. He wasn't sneezing. Because if he had sneezed or coughed, then I'd have been like, nah, kid.
It's a wrap.
Cancel.
Yo, cons like McDonald's is infected. First of all, the McDonald's been infected since 1994.
McDonald's got that pink goo.
Yeah, McDonald's ain't nobody going to McDonald's for nothing whole,some. That shit, you know exactly what you're getting and what you're leaving with. But there was a McDonald's here in Calgary, that someone came in. It was like in the south, the rich southeast, like not yo southeast, like the south east. So
first of all, nigga, fuck you. Second of all, that's the McDonald's I went to my whole childhood, man, in Riverbend, kid. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. I was like, oh shit! I even recognized the picture. I worked there when I was like 17. So
your first job.
Yeah, that was actually literally was my first job. Was that actual McDonald's that is shut down right now?
That's what's up. My first job was, the Wendy's that's on the Olympic Hill across the street from COP.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first job was working there for 2.5 weeks, fam.
Oh, really?
I got my first full check, and I said, you know what?
This
Nothing
ain't
that
worth
is
it.
happening to me here is worth what you're
This ain't
giving
worth
me.
it. I
It's
lasted a little
not
bit.
at all.
I lasted like pretty long, man, just because I didn't have a birth certificate, and so we
They
had to
didn't
go.
make those back then.
Nah, they came out 2 years later. That's why you got one.
2 years wiser, nigga.
2 years
Oh,
later.
you forgot that one.
I did. I'm a little bit discombobulated, but yo, fucking I lasted a little longer because I didn't have a birth certificate, so I ended up having to go back to. We took a trip to Toronto, so I was late with everything. Like I couldn't get a license, like a learner's or nothing, because I didn't have a birth certificate. So when I finally came back with it, that was my first job, and so everybody already been working, getting money, finding different jobs. Like that was my first job. I just kept the shit. I just needed money. You know what I mean? So I actually lasted there for like a good, like almost like a year.
That's not bad, man. We had one of those managers that was like I swear to God, his life goal was just to manage a McDonald's. Like
I know.
One of these, if you work the what's it called, right? You can work your way up to the fries, and you could be management material like me.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you like to be management material, Will? It's like, no, I don't. I'm the manager of fucking Wendy's, fam. Like for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I went out in a blaze of glory too. I remember that was my first job where fucking they called me to the back for some shit. I just had the feeling they were gonna fire me, so I did the whole fucking take my apron off, threw the shit at the wall. I was like, fuck out of here.
I think people using the internet in my house. Hold on. This is how we got to do it. Like this is like live, extra stuff. Hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say you getting grainy.
Yeah, a little bit.
By the way, we can hear that call just in case you.
Yeah, I'm putting it on.
Okay, good. I just didn't want you to not know that. You're like, how did you let your ass chaps out? You're like, baby, I'm not.
My ass chaps. Why is that the first shit you go ass chaps?
Because nigga, you love Prince, so I assume you got the outfits. I assume you got the outfit.
She ain't answering the phone either. Like
she really in them chaps.
For real.
Will's like, give me a minute. I need to pause this. What the fuck?
Oh my God. Like they people, if you on the internet, I got a podcast to do in this motherfucker. I gotta make money for the house. I don't know how we doing it through the podcast, but we doing it in this motherfucker.
Exactly. We're attempting.
Yeah, so so you were saying the McDonald's was your blaze of glory. So did you go? Because I left Wendy's, I cussed everybody out. I went on the speaker just like fucking half baked, like fuck you, fuck. Like I went out.
Oh really? No, I didn't go that bad, but I definitely threw my fucking. I've had enough of this place. And threw the fucking shit at the wall. Like
I'm better than this.
Yeah, and like left.
That's hilarious.
And then they called me back.
I want people to join the conversation. So I was talking about it before we you jumped in.
Mm-hmm.
The Jay Electronic album. I went back to that.
Okay.
It turns out we may be the only niggas in history that like this album.
I don't think the only niggas. I think, but unfortunately, I do think fucking it's more 2 years older, 2 years wiser that like it. I don't know. I just find that older niggas like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why people didn't like it. Like
there's a lot of people on there saying that there's too much Jay on there.
Okay, so first of all, why? So wait, why is that? Like, why is that? How is that criticism?
Because I think they're saying like we realize this is his first album.
Okay.
And I don't think he's on any of the songs solo.
So
that's what it's saying. When you're on your first album, you gotta you gotta be the glue holding the album together, or just call it a group album. Like it's got to be Watch the Throne Part 2 then.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be anything. Like, why? Like, where's the official formula that says it has to be that? Like, I agree. Well, okay, I agree. Jay is on a little too much of it. I will give niggas that, but I thought he was good on it. I don't care if they want to. If Jay wants to do his man a solid and just be like, yo, man, that's just a Jay album. Because maybe Jay, you know what? Jay Electronica's never dropped an album. The nigga's like 10 years deep. He's got nothing but singles. Maybe he can't carry an album.
Yeah, and I was thinking that too. I was thinking maybe if I was going back to my old comments on last week's podcast, and I'm thinking maybe I was wrong. Maybe Jay Electronica cannot carry an album. Maybe that's why he had Jay on it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's definitely an honor.
Here's the problem that people have. It can be a good album without him carrying it.
Yeah.
Like, that's where the expectations, I think, are fucked up. Like, did you like the music or no?
Mhm.
That's what it should be based on. Like,
but it should be based on, did you like the music? Did you like his music? So it's like, well, this is your first album. Can you make music that we love, rather than because rather than can you make a group, or can you, along with like so many other people at the same time, make music that we love? Like, can we have a J Electronica album that has just J Electronica on it with some features that we like? Do you think he's capable of doing that then?
Maybe he just can't write enough. Because I did find that he did fall back on certain phrases a lot. Like a lot of the hamdulillahs and stuff like that. And I know that maybe that's something you can repeat a lot, but I just found he kicked that a lot. You know what I mean? So I'm not if you put your album in front of me and you produced it and then you got everybody rhyming on it, if it was a good album, I'll still say it was a good album that you put out. Like, I either liked the sound of the album or I didn't. I don't think that we have to arbitrarily say it has to be like, oh, he wasn't 80% solo on it, so I automatically cannot like how it sounded. I don't know.
You can like how it sounded, but would you consider it his album then? If he's not holding together his own body of work, especially after 10 years, and then Joe Budden asked the question, and I think this is a good question. If he can't hold his own album, did he deserve such high regard that we've been giving him for the past 10, 12 years? Is that deserving for him? How many vitamins do you need, my nigga? You trying to warn that shit off?
Guy, man. If I get it, I ain't gonna be stuck with it.
Are you trying to just fast travel to fucking day 8? Is that
what Yeah, kid, these mad Xannies.
Mad Xannies. Don't pop Xannies during the show.
I'm just kidding, man. Come on, I don't fuck with none of that.
We just sitting here, the niggas just like nodding off and shit. Also, they're saying that
I agree with you too. Before we wrap that up, I do agree with you to an extent. I don't think that maybe he can't hold an album on his own. Does that mean that I didn't like Watch the Throne 2 or My Written Testimony or whatever it was really called? I still enjoyed it. I still thought it had some good joints on it. I got to admit, when I went back and listened to it, there's only maybe 2, max 3 songs I would ever put on a playlist.
Do you feel like I really liked the album?
I thought it was good, man. I thought it was a good sound.
But I don't consider it a J Electronica album now.
No.
Like, even after like going back and listening to it and catching that vibe again, to me it's a Watch the Throne 2. It's a Jay-Z. It feels like it's a Jay-Z feature. And like, he wasn't even the first voice you heard on his album.
So then Watch the Throne 1, whose album is that?
That's Jay. It's Jay and Kanye. Just like your album coming out is Idol and Jack Mills, the same type of thing.
So did you like Watch the Throne 1?
I did.
Okay. Would you say that Kanye put out Watch the Throne 1?
What do you mean?
Like, would you call that a Kanye album?
No.
Can Kanye say that?
I'd say it's a.
Can Kanye say it's a good album he put out?
He could say it's a good album that he had a part of. Just like Redman, just like Method Man can't say Enter the 36 Chambers is the best album that he put out, because that's not his album. That's the Wu-Tang album. That's a collaboration album. You dig what I'm saying? It's a group. Whereas Watch the Throne, Kanye and Jay can't say that's the best I put out because it's a group. That's the best. They'd have to say we. As the group, and it would be tough for them to say that because that's the only album they actually did. You dig what I'm saying?
So true. I guess I can understand where you're coming from. You definitely would have to kind of edit. Maybe you're right. Maybe they should have put Jay. Okay, so if they put Jay Electronica and Jay-Z are Whitney or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. If they put that, then what?
Well, see, now if it was like I don't know, because now let's be clear. This is not relatively how I feel. Just this is like stuff that's in the air that I just want to, you know, question and
Oh,
see
no.
how we feel about that. But I feel like I don't like even just how the listening to it and then catching the vibe and actually listening to it more and more and more. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel like a solo album.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like a solo album. Whereas if you look at Speaker Box Love Below,
Mm-hmm.
that had backlash because it felt like two solo albums just mashed together. Right? Whereas if you look at the group, how the groups are, like J and J sounded like a group together. They had that fluidity. They had all that type of stuff. And we've all heard hip hop albums from groups and duos and things like that that don't even sound like they should be together.
So if they put Jay Electronica and Jay-Z, Witness My Testimony, do niggas like it better now?
The written testimony.
What is it?
Witness is the written testimony.
I don't fucking know, nigga. I can't remember shit off by heart.
That's
like, goddamn.
That's how good the album is. That's how memorable that bitch was.
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't know if I see, and that's a question I had too. So it's like, okay, so if they can't call it a group album, would you say it's a good album now? So but then
I think that's dumb if that's the case.
Yeah.
Because you either like the sound or you don't, man.
And then you have to look at the people that are like, okay, well, I like the album, but I don't think it should have been a solo album, or should be called a solo album. But then there's still people that are saying, yeah, the beats were whack, the verses were off, and da da da. And I thought the beats were dope. Like, it was out the box type shit. You know what I'm saying? It was some shit on some next level type shit. It wasn't shit that you regularly hear, even from boom bap style albums.
No, that's actually one of the things I did enjoy about it. Was I thought that it was different. That's one of the things that I thought was dope about it. Like, it doesn't... Niggas love boxes, man. They just like... If they think that you should have an album that sounds a certain way, they don't like it. Because it doesn't. Like, stop trying to put people in boxes, man. Like, just take what they give you. I agree, if you want to talk about they game the system, because that's probably what it was. Because even right there on the album, I can't remember if it was Jay-Z who says it or if it was a J verse, but he's like... They said, I need to stop playing around and win a Grammy, right? Like, do you remember that kind of line in the song? One of those tracks?
Yeah, something along those lines, yeah.
So, again,
I think
could
that
see...
was Jay Electronica saying that.
Yeah, so I could see that maybe there would be partial rollout to it where they're like, yo, Jay, you need Electronica. They're like, yo, you need a Grammy album. And then maybe Jay Electronica's like, man, I don't got time. Like, I don't know why he just can't ever put out an album for 7 years. So whatever those reasons are, I feel like he got the same glasses as me.
Probably. Dollar Store?
Oh, no. Crate and Barrel.
But, like, this is messed up because the glasses I got, they're all different.
That's not even the dollar store, nigga. That's a garage sale.
They're all messed up at the bottom. They kind of tiggle and tweeter and shit, or tweeter and wiggle. I don't know what the fucking words are.
It's all good.
Fuck about my glass.
But like I said, if you like the album, like, just let people do what they want to do and take it. But again, I do think they gamed the system and they were like, yo, Jay was probably like, look, let me help you put out an actual album so you at least have one on your fucking resume.
Yeah.
Because maybe there's like certain restrictions for doing your own tour. Like, you don't even have a full project. Like, what are you touring on? Like, maybe that's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the motivations. I can't say.
So I'm just fucking around too. But to me, it kind of feels like, because what fucked me up was you had people, like, I remember before when he was talking about, I'm gonna have this album 40 days and 40 nights, the album's gonna be out, and then people fucking found out that that Hov was gonna be on Jay Electronica's album, and everybody's like wilding out, like, yo, Hov's gonna be on the album, this is gonna be a Watch the Throne 2, this is gonna be so dope, this is gonna be so dope. And then the album comes out, motherfuckers like, there's too much Jay-Z on it, da da da. I really feel like hip hop fans just are incapable of being happy with the product.
Like I said, they just wanted it to be in their box. They wanted Jay Electronica solo. and then they wanted Jay-Z on probably maybe of the 10 tracks, like on 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And they would have been happy. Like, that's how boxy niggas get. Like, they just want something so specific. So sometimes I'm just like, look, man, take the album, put it in. Don't even really, like, just listen to it. And if it's something that appeals to your ear and is good, then just like it. I don't understand why you got to get caught up in semantics. Like, whose name is on it would never throw the quality for me.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Even if it was like that album and like fucking Rock Marciano, like I would still be like, well, this isn't him at all, but this is still dope. Like I wouldn't be like, oh my God. Unless that's all I came to hear was Rock Marciano. So maybe you're hearing a small echo chamber of true Jay Electronica fans who are like, I wanted to hear an album of the nigga and all I heard was verses here and there.
And then you have, okay, so there's that, and then you have the backlash that he got from, I guess there's a lot of anti-Semitic comments in there.
Okay.
Undertones of anti-Semitism, and I didn't really realize this, but
I don't think I listened to
Ebro. Nah, not for that. And I mean, I'm not the Jewish community in Calgary where we live is incredibly small.
Mm-hmm.
So for us to even be in tune with that would be tough, right?
Yeah.
Unless it was overt, like overt anti-Semitism, we would know. But I mean, if you live in New York and some of your best friends and the people in your circle and stuff like that are Jewish, you may be more sensitive and more attuned to
especially
undertones of anti-Semitism.
Especially if he's using things from there, right? Like if he's always like, yeah, with the whatever bagel and locks on the corner, and they know that that's them talking. I like, you know what I mean? Due to area and shit. Because you could say some shit in Calgary and be like, only people from here would really know that that's a diss, right? Because what is the Saint King Louis like or whatever, right? Saint Louis
or whatever. Yeah.
Shit, I'm getting torn up in my words too.
He was talking. I guess
I need some of this.
Ebro was talking about he had references to the synagogue of Satan. Basically the synagogue is it was in Revelations. I'm just looking it up right now, so I'm not that smart. But the synagogue of Satan say the Jews, the people of God, and they prosecute those who believe in Jesus, the Messiah, the true people of God. In reality, rejecting the Jewish Messiah, they have renounced their status of true Jews, and that's why Jesus calls them liars, and they're part of the synagogue of Satan. And I guess I don't know if he name dropped Jewish people in the industry. I don't know if he actually name dropped Ebro and referenced him to the synagogue of Satan. So I guess there was a lot of that and anti-Semitism. And we all know, like we've seen how I guess perceived anti-Semitism can affect a career. Because if we look at Ice Cube when he came out with No Vaseline and he dissed Jerry Heller, and they said that was anti-Semitic. And then he had the brother, what is it, the Brotherhood of Jews? I don't know, but it was like the Nation of Islam versus that faction and stuff like that. So I didn't hear it. Did you? Did anything that came across where you heard that you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? This might touch a nerve or anything like that? You think people are just overreacting or?
I think that when you come from certain neighborhoods, that might be, unfortunately, your outlook. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you've grown up, and I don't mean this. I'm saying this from a primarily an example point. So, but you know, if your whole life, the fucking 3 corner stores were always owned by China dudes and they were always kind of hassling you or like always, you know, doing this and that, then maybe you would have that kind of outlook that those guys are fucking doing whatever, right? So I don't know. Some of that stuff, it might be just so much to like where he's from that we couldn't understand it, because I actually didn't hear any of that. But again, like you said, I wasn't really listening for that. But I did hear a lot of, like I said, the Hamdulillahs, where it's like I could tell he was on more of like that kind of a religious tip, like, you know, where it was almost like I don't want to say disparaging, but almost to the point where it was like, yo, this is the truth. I don't know. It just felt like that kind of. So I could see maybe those messages being like in there veiled at some point, but I didn't personally hear it.
So I'm sticking with my my original assessment of the album. I thought it was I thought it was a dope album. and I'm sticking with that. I like the album. I enjoyed the album. If y'all didn't, whoever didn't like the album may need to revisit it, re-listen to it with more adult ears. I don't know, but I definitely I fucks with it. I fucks with the album.
Yeah, I thought it was dope, man, and I still do. Like I said, though, I did re-listen to it, and I, maybe there wasn't as many songs as I would like that I wanted to put on a playlist, but I still thought it was dope, man. I thought it, again, I could see people not liking West Side Gun because some of it is just, is it? And I don't want to say this, and I'm not saying anything bad about anybody who didn't like it, because there truly is just taste differences, but I do feel like maybe it was just too progressive in some of those beats for niggas.
It too progressive. I know with me, I'm starting to like simplicity a lot in the beats.
Yeah.
We talk about the album that we reviewed today. A lot of simplicity in those beats as well. So I'm digging the simplicity in the beats. I felt that Jay Electronica and Jay-Z they bounced off each other good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a lot of the people in the industry, I keep shouting out Joe Budden because that's one of the main industry podcasts I go to just to get I feel like their point of view is a whole lot differently.
Well, because he's an industry insider, right? So he's kicking shit from a perspective that you ain't even gonna get.
Speaking of Jay's, our man's actually, Jay Pesos. He said if we're talking about the Jay Electronica album, it was trash, and he's a Jay-Z guy. As he said, he's one of Jay-Z's biggest fans. He thought it was trash. So I wasn't even thinking about that, but he actually came and said he didn't like the album too. So Pesos, if you want to jump in on the chat too, let us know what you didn't like. We'd love to have you on right now. If you got your video chat and stuff like that, just let us know comprehensively what parts of the album you didn't like, why you didn't like the album, things like that, right? Because it's definitely, I haven't had a conversation with anybody that didn't like the album. I've just heard opinions, a lot of media types and a lot of people in the industry that had their opinions on it, and just they're mad because it wasn't a solo album. They're saying it was a weak jump out the gate for everybody waiting 10 plus years for Jay Electronica to come through. So let me hit up Pesos and see if he wants to jump on.
See, so the fact that he didn't drop an album for 10 years is right. So that we're gonna hold that against him?
Maybe. Because I feel like, now this is just me giving the devil's advocate. I feel like if he was held at such a regard for all that time,
and
he hasn't given us anything for that period of time, maybe we should hold that against him. Maybe we should come off of his pedestal and say, hey, you haven't done anything to gain the Lauryn Hill right. You know what I'm saying? That's Lauryn Hill Prince type shit. You dig what I'm saying? You haven't done anything for your fans, for the critics, for the culture to be able to hold that regard. I mean, you don't have to drop something every year and right? But
whatever he did to get that accolade is now wiped out.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it was wiped out, but I like Jay Electronica's music, but then going back and seeing his catalog, I'm wondering, did I actually like Jay Electronica's music, or did I just get pulled into this hype that was just part of normal hip hop culture? Yeah.
But that's just the thing. When I even think of Jay Electronica, I didn't think of somebody who had this infinite esteem. I didn't think he was the next coming of God or anything. I just thought he was just a rapper. I didn't think. I'm just saying, I didn't ever think what regard was he held at? It's not like I heard his name and every time people talked about top 5 MCs and everybody, he was barely even talked about. I don't even know what niggas are talking about.
That's what I'm saying, right? So I don't know if he was put into the top 5, but anytime his name was brought up, it was brought up with that air.
But
does that make sense?
So, but why? Because
that's what I'm wondering.
Because the industry told you he was dope.
I think so,
but because
I went back.
Nobody ever told me.
And listened to his shit. I'm like, he's dope, but he's not. Why the fuck did I think of Jay Electron? And maybe it had to do with his Howard Hughes moves. to where it's like there was so much mysticism around him.
Yeah.
That maybe that's what put him in that type of air.
See, there's part of me that thinks, because I can't remember, and it might have been a Joe Budden podcast, and excuse me if I'm wrong on this, but I think they were talking at one point saying, like, you don't want to fuck with Jay Electronica.
Right, like he's untouchable. I heard that
like
too.
You don't want to. Okay, so he got his esteem, and all those guys respect him because obviously he's got some sort of clout on a level where he's like big time amongst stars, even though he's dropped nothing.
Right, like God MC.
The general public took that and thought that meant he was going to put out the best album. Nobody ever really said this nigga was the best MC. I didn't even hear, when I was hearing about Jay Electronica, all I heard was, you don't want to fuck with him in like real life.
And that's off of his shit. Like, I know, like, so we all know Exhibit C. Exhibit C was dope. Exhibit A dope. His verse on Control is dope. Like, I've heard his shit. Some of his shit. This shit's dope. Lyrically, he's dope. Yeah. Pesos is saying that he can't go on video chat, but he says the beats were whack, and Jay Electronica didn't even compare to Jay-Z on his own album. That's another fault. We waited 10 years for this, and he was a shell of himself on Exhibit C. So Exhibit C is, it's like if Kendrick Lamar came out with his Control verse and didn't drop anything for 10 years, or you know what I'm saying, or if Biggie came out with I don't know whatever Biggie's best, like I can't even think of a song from a hip-hop artist that hit waves like Exhibit C did. Like Exhibit C was his foray, and then that just had people waiting on him, right? Yeah. Like if you listen to Exhibit C, like have you heard it recently? Like you go back and listen to it, it's dope. It's dope lyrically and everything. It's dope, but people are saying that based off of that, that was a part of him having that esteem of being one of the greatest MCs, or a extremely great MC, I guess you could say. And then hitting us with this. Now I didn't think that. Me and Pesos don't agree on it, but I love the beats. I definitely didn't think Jay Electronica came in the same way that he did on Exhibit C and his older stuff, right? Yeah. But you got to think, like, I don't know any rapper that spits with the same heart they did 10 years prior that are still in the game. But then you got to think, was Jay Electronica even in the game?
That's what I mean. I don't know why everybody is acting like he's this staple. I heard that he was nothing to be fucked with in real life. That's what I heard about Jay Electronica. I've never heard anything about him being like the God MC. That's just me, though. You know what I mean? And then if you're just running around with Jay-Z, you like, and now you got an album. I'm like, obviously you're something, but maybe he's just that dude. Like, it might not be musical. I don't know. I just never heard of him in that vein musically. So I feel like it frustrates me when people are like, thinking he was worse than he was. Like, I never heard that he was gonna be the next Jay-Z or whatever, right? Like,
and for him, like, not hearing about him being in that vein musically, has he even done anything in the industry for cats to catch him unless they're looking for him? Like, you got to say he's got to be somewhat niche, right? So unless you're looking for Jay Electronica, are you catching anything from Jay Electronica to know that he's that cat to look for music?
Yeah, I don't think so. And like I said, I agree with Pesos on the fact that he did get outshined by Jay on his shit.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I don't think that makes your album whack. Unless you thought Jay Electronica was whack. Like, I don't think it's fair to be like, yo, Jay Electronica was good. It's just Jay-Z was better, so the album is trash.
But I think some people are thinking like, okay, the album was whack because if you didn't have the dope people on it, your album wouldn't be good. So if you put out an album that's trash, but then you get Jay-Z on it and Jay-Z outshines you and people are like, that's a dope album. Well, did Jay Electronica put out a dope album, or was there dope music because Jay Electronica had Jay-Z on it? If you pulled the shit that made it dope, right? And for me, there's a lot of shit about the album beyond Jay-Z that made it dope, where I still think it was a good album. But for some cats, they'd be like, this shit wouldn't even be worth listening to if it wasn't for Jay-Z. And that's what makes it a whack album, because it's not that the product got put out was weak. It's that I don't know, if you have a pack of cocaine
mm-hmm.
and it's dull cocaine and you buff it with whatever that makes people get that temporary fucked up. Let's say you put, I don't fucking know, I'm not a drug dealer. Let's say battery acid. I don't know. No. Or no, let's say, what fentanyl.
Okay.
And fentanyl boosts the high of it, right? It's weak cocaine. But the fentanyl boosts the high of it to where the average consumer would be like, yo, this is dope. This is dope coke. But it's not. It's just coke and fentanyl. That didn't kill you. So if you take the fentanyl, the people, I think people are saying that Jay Electronica put out some weak ass drugs, and Jay-Z was the cut that made it better. So that's why when you listen to the whole thing, it's dope. But if you break it down to what it actually was, it wasn't that good. That's not how I feel, but I think me stepping up from the outside, I think that's how people are looking at it.
So do I get no props for putting this thing together?
I don't think you do in hip hop. I don't think you do in hip hop.
DJ Khaled proves time and time again that the guy who puts it together might be fucking on the Super Bowl halftime. Like, guy, I don't know about that. I think,
but DJ Khaled, but he's a dope what? You're not gonna say he's a dope rapper or he puts dope music together. He's a dope producer.
Yeah.
He produced by getting the beats and putting the different mixes and drops into it, and then getting the right people on. Like Khaled knows exactly who goes on what beat.
So if I show up tomorrow and I'm just like, yo, by the way, my new EP's got Jay-Z all on it, you're not gonna be giving me some respect for the fact that I got Jay-Z all on it?
Well, yes, of course.
Yeah, like nigga, you got Jay. How is what like?
What does your product sound? What does your product sound like if Jay-Z wasn't on it?
Well, it doesn't matter because I got Jay-Z on it. Therefore, I improved it.
But it does matter because you're not going to have Jay-Z on everything.
Exactly. So until this one you like because I was smart enough to get Jay-Z on it, and the next one maybe I'll do it again because guess what? I got it like that. Or it's going to be just me, and you're going to see that I can't float.
But the thing is like when it comes to music, it's like, okay, that's going to last maybe a couple of albums to the point where people are like, well, we're just going to bypass your shit. Maybe even just pull the verses from the artist. Where it's like, yo, he's putting out this whack shit with Jay-Z all over it. Okay, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna grab Jay-Z. I'm just gonna and then cut Idle out. I got Fruity Loops. I can I can cut
right now. You are Fruity Loops, nigga. Like, cause seriously, fucking no. Hey, I agree with you. I agree with you. But are we saying that Jay Electronica's verses were whack?
I'm not saying that.
Well, even the people who think the album's trash, were his verses whack? Because if his verses were okay, just not as good as Jay-Z, and then he had the foresight to get Jay-Z on it, I don't know why that he's super trash.
Then is he super trash or is he just okay? And if you can't call an album good if it's okay. How often do you listen to okay shit?
I listen to tons of okay rappers on dope beats.
Regularly? On like not regularly, multiple times? Well, you just heard a whack rapper on a dope beat and then went about your business after.
Well, there's been a couple beats that it's just for the beat and I don't like the rhyme. They are few and far between. But
and you don't revisit it.
Not all the time.
All right, nigga. But
well,
I just the Jay Electronica album. I think the album's dope. I think it's the same. Sean came on here and was like, yo, fuck Jay Electronic. He's just whack. I don't agree with that. That's not even comprehensive. That's not even a thoughtful that's DJ Tag. That's not even a thoughtful criticism. I don't fuck him, he's whack. That sounds like somebody fucked your girl.
Okay, but here's the thing. Everybody can have a preference.
Right.
So if you're just saying that Jay Electronica is whack, I can accept that because everybody has their own opinion about music. That's the subjective part to it.
Right.
if you didn't mind Jay Electronica, but it took the sound of the album steps down in your mind because Jay-Z was on it, I think that's whack.
So do you think this is the case where they're just like it? Because
there's nothing wrong thinking Jay Electronica's trash.
But if you say, like, for example, Pesos came on and had something comprehensive. He was like, this is the beat. I didn't like the beats. And if you compare this to how he did this and da-da-da, I mean, basically the hype was all built up and we didn't get what the hype was about. He didn't like the album. He didn't even say Jay Electronica was trash. He said the album was trash. Tags just said, fuck Jay Electronica. It's just whack. That's like that's not, when it comes to art, when it comes to anything that's subjective, you need to be able to comment on your critique. If you don't like pickles, you can be like, yo, I don't like pickles. Why not? Man, when I eat them, they tart and they taste gross and da-da-da and this, that, and the third and blah, 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 right? It's like, okay, cool. I don't like what, and someone says, I don't like pickles. Why? Because they just trash. Okay, but why? Because the pickles is trash. It's like, okay, cool. You just hate pickles. You a pickle hater. You know what I'm saying? And Tags is like, I'd rather hear both of you guys rap than listen to Jay Electronica. Sucking our dicks is not gonna give us a comprehensive thing. Tags, I hate to be rude, but my motherfucker, this is the smoke. If you gonna say something's trash, give a comprehensive. Don't come on here and double fist me and Idol. Don't double two-hand fisted, tip of the tip, tongue to the no. Let us know why it was trash. If someone else can come and tell me why it was trash, I might take a second look. His voice sounds.
And you know what?
Can you see the comments? Can you see the comments?
No.
Okay, this is his voice sounds bad. Okay, cool. That's where we're at. His voice
the thing that I'm kind of stuck on right now is that I don't know if what Tag said was even props, guy. He's just like, I'd rather listen to you two rap.
Than Jay Electronica. Wait, no, yeah,
right. I had to process that. I was like, wait, nigga, of course you would, because I'm not whack. Like, shit.
But if you think about it, that was slide.
That was slide.
Okay.
Well, I was like, what the fuck?
Okay,
God damn, that's harsh.
Right now. I'm rather you guys. It's like, I'd rather wipe my ass with toilet paper I'd rather wipe my ass with fucking sandpaper than get back with my ex. Like, that's one of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are horrible. That is horrible.
Exactly.
Yo, fuck
that's why I was like, sucking our dicks. Not quite.
Nah, I take that back. Hold on. So, all right. So, yeah, let's wrap that up. Jay Electronica, I like the album. I can't believe we spent more time talking about his album than we did.
Well, I think it also broached into conversations about just hip hop culture in general and how people view things, and so I don't think we were just straight up talking about the nigga's album. But it was.
That's true.
But it was.
But it was. I mean, I like the album. I thought the album was dope.
I did too, so and I ain't gonna change it.
It's our show, nigga. Can you hear the kids outside?
I can. Barely though. Only when you were silent and tried to point it out.
My daughter we finally got some nice weather here, and she's been last week at the house going stir crazy.
Yeah, man, it's been harsh. It's been harsh.
So what have you been doing during the Wuhan? What y'all been doing to, like, how you been keeping active? How you been keeping your brain active? Have you been like, oh, me and A just been here fucking, like, I'm hanging up. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? What are you doing, my nigga? To keep active, to keep good, to keep mentally fresh and shit like that, entertained and whatnot.
Like I said, man, right now, definitely throwing down enough PS4. You know what I mean? So, but a lot of it right now is, like I said, man, unfortunately, with that getting swept up in the small business closure, man, I've been busy trying to get as many books scanned and online as possible for the business. So it hasn't really been too much just straight chilling. You know what I mean? But I'll admit,
I apologize, babe. Just go around the motherfucker. Come say hi to the motherfuckers. This woman is in. Look at it. She.
Hi. Well, you can't see me, just my face.
Thank you.
I really have to hold back.
You staying safe, Idol? He can't hear me.
Nah, he can't. He can hear you, babe. You can't hear him.
Oh, I
That
can't
sounds
hear
like-
you.
Okay, baby.
Okay,
Thank you.
Ow.
You better calm down, nigga. No, I'm just joking.
You're the one slapping ass. I'm just watching you live your best life.
Nah, I'm fucking with you. Fuck you, nigga. What the fuck were we talking about?
Wuhan.
Oh, Wuhan. What you been doing to keep active and everything like that? Hit me up. I rudely interrupted you when you started.
No, like I said, I've been doing a lot of the online shit for the biz, trying to kind of make sure that we're still able to sell. So I haven't had that much chilling, but yeah, there's been a lot of time. Just definitely fucking watched a couple movies, watched this, that, read books, sorted shit. My house is getting real clean.
Nice. Hey, what up, Terry? Hey, Terry, if you want to jump on, but all good, fam. Sorry you feel that way. I mean, it was a joke, Tags. Calm down. Tags is like, yo, this I'm sorry. This nigga's like, I'm sorry you feel that way. It's all good. It's like we fucking joking. And Terry Little, if you want to jump on, let us know, fam. I'm gonna send you the link. You can jump on with us and we can fuck around. Yeah, so I've been doing the same thing. I've been doing a lot of reading. The social distancing thing to me during the day, I work from home. So it's not like that's been different. Yeah. And I never leave the house. So the social distancing thing hasn't really been a difference for me, except the podcast and shit like that. And it's like and seeing my parents, right? Mm-hmm. So y'all is the peoples that keep me
going,
keep me grounded with humans. Like y'all is my humanity. Like so visiting with y'all over online and shit like that, and just like when you got busy and I hit you up and said da, and then like 4 days went by and I'm like, oh shit, I hope this nigga ain't sick. Oh, I hope this. I'm like, you okay, nigga? But I wanted to say it like a man, right? I didn't want to be like, why didn't you text? You know what I'm saying? I want to say it like a man. So it's like, I ain't act like a bitch, but I want a nigga to know I'm concerned. So you know what I'm saying?
Just like I said, man, just trying to get that and then getting Pop set up. You know what I mean? Because they're, that kind of sucks though, not really being able to see them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I just don't. I believe in the social relationship. Really, what's that?
You and your pops have a dope relationship too.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten better over the years. You know what I mean? But I just want to. I don't know. I just don't want to really expose them to nothing. So we're just on some like not really checking each other at the moment, just cause you never know, right? Like you never know.
My dad. Same thing. My pops usually like every couple of Sundays, every couple of weeks or something like that. On Sundays, we'll go over there, have a couple of beers, play MLB The Show on the PlayStation, and chop it up and go back and forth. We haven't been able to do that and whatnot too, right? And keep this though. My mom sent me a text message yesterday, and she says, "Check your front step." I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean check my front step? Why are you acting suspect? So I was on the way back. So I called her. I'm like, I'm not even home. What are you doing? And she's like, oh, because she has a baking, like a culinary academy that she does, right? So she was doing she was doing an online tutorial for some cinnamon buns.
Okay.
Right? Some fancy cinnamon buns and shit like that. But she wasn't able to have a class to teach the class. So she was doing it online. Yeah. But then she had all these cinnamon buns. So I guess she packed a bunch up for her kids and her my grandparents and stuff like that. And she came and drove halfway across the city because she's out in Woodbine. I'm up way on past the airport, and she came and dropped cinnamon buns on there. And she was gonna sit there, and I was gonna open the thing, and we're gonna have a conversation from my step to her thing, right? Because and I thought that was dope. But I'm like, I'm not home, and then you hear her say, "Oh, oh shit, hold on!" And I guess a rabbit just crept up on the step and went to get that cinnamon buns in the box and shit. So my mom had to fight off a rabbit and shit. But that's one of those things where it's like, that's what COVID has us now, to where social interactions with the people we love. Like I'm at the point where I'm starting to take that shit for, I'm starting to realize I was taking that shit for granted.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I can't even lie. There's a couple times where I've actually, and like I said, man, I'm like you know what I mean? I actually am good with like being alone sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't bug me. There are times I've just been by myself, saw 0 people for like 3 days. Like, I'm just like, whatever. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, oh my God, so, but, I wasn't like fucking dying over it. But There
I
is.
can't deal with it sometimes, baby.
I can't even lie. There are times when I do wish shit just was like it was. You know what I mean? And I know that eventually we're going to be able to get back to that and whatnot. I'm not trying to. I know that this isn't supposed to be a doom and gloom message, but sometimes I wish I could just walk outside and I remember I'd see you, just be like, "Yo, boom, dap up, little hug here, there, fuck, see whoever, go wherever." You know what I mean? It's just I feel like it's like I just want it to be back to that, just for the freedom of movement. Like this shit is
freedom of movement, and it's one of those things where it's like, because you know me, I take my solitude. That's me, you know what I'm saying? Whereas like I don't go out the house too much. I don't go to parties. I don't like big groups of people and da, which is fine. But like I said, like my people's is my grounding, my humanity and shit like that, right? So for example, when I'm by myself, you know what I'm saying, and I quip on niggas on Facebook or motherfuckers and I start feeling myself. Sometimes I need the Saturdays to sit across from you to be like, okay, oh yeah, okay, cool. Like I need to get, you know what I'm saying? I need to be put down on human level again and shit sometimes, right? But this is one of those things where it's like I know for a fact, like you said, it's not a doom and gloom message. But this is when this all clears up and everybody's all better and everything. This is gonna be one of those things where it's gonna have me leaving my house more often to click up with my homeboys and my peoples and shit like that, right? So you're gonna be seeing niggas like at your door more often than not. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get gatherings and social interactions and shit like that too.
Yeah.
This COVID got motherfuckers fucked up though. Speaking of
so before we move on, what have you been doing, man? Just same as me or what?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Listening to audiobooks, not reading too much work, trying to do some kind of educational shit with my daughters. It's hard to, you know, I have the full 9.5, 10 hours of work. That's regular work day because it's been from home. And then after she does that, and then between breaks and shit like that, trying to get it on some math stuff for some English stuff and right? I got my little pull-up bars, so I'll do pull-ups and push-ups and try and do some sit-ups and try and keep energy going and shit like that. But it's I'm starting to feel the house come in like this because maybe we'll go for a drive or I'll hit the corner store real quick, but we don't have the luxury of sometimes if I'm in the house for too long, I'm like, okay, babe, let's just go to the casino for lunch or brunch or something like that, or let's just go to the movie theater and catch a movie and shit like that. Like the option was always there, and now you can't be doing all that now.
No, and I feel it. I do feel it. Just everything being closed, and I feel exactly what you're saying, man. But like, hey, I don't think this will be forever. So I think this is one thing we just got to tough this out, man.
I don't think this is going to be forever for us. I do feel like this is going to they're going to try and this may end up being the norm for society as far as social distancing with strangers. As far as like you'll see more plexiglass in cabs, more plexiglass at the cashiers at the Sobeys and the Safeways and stuff like that. I feel like this is going to scare people from people they don't know enough. To where there's going to be a little bit of social separation. I do feel like money's going to be used less. I don't really want to get into out of that. But
yeah, why you don't want to get into cashless?
Nah, we only have like 20 minutes left, but and me and you could go like forever on the 10th. Nigga, you tired of my boring? No, I'm just joking.
No, I'm tired of it. Actually, to tell you the truth, I'm just because the way that this chair is, man, it's just like making my back like fuck up after.
That's how it was
too long.
That's how it was at Nietzsche's house.
Yeah,
Nietzsche's house was so low, and then I had to hunch over and
Yeah,
right?
and then it fucks with your back after over time. So nah, you ain't boring me at all, man. I'm with it.
I know I'm fucking with you, but I do feel this is gonna get us to a paperless money society because we already know money carries germs, and when you have a pandemic like this, even for people that aren't directly affected, it does. The fear is residual.
Yeah. At
least for half a generation, let's say. Yeah. Right? Until people get older. Because I remember I can't remember if it was a dream or if I actually had this conversation, but there was something that happened last year that had everybody using hand sanitizers a lot again. And it wasn't Wuhan, but there was some kind of something that was making people sick, not dying, but it was like a bad flu or bad cold or something like that that had people using a lot of hand sanitizer.
There was something.
But I I mean, we could talk about it and we can get into it when we have more time to do research and shit like that. I personally don't feel like a paperless money society is part of like NWO or Illuminati or anything like that. I do feel that it is going to make it easier for banks and debitors and creditors and things like that to seize your shit, and like the authorities to seize your shit. If you don't have cash, we go to cashless, but I don't think it's going to be possible to be 100% cashless, right? Because
as long as it's not 100%,
right?
because 100% they could just shut you off, nigga, just cause. We're not even talking about seizing your shit. We're talking about if for some reason they put a freeze on you, you can't do nothing.
Anything.
You can't be even
buy a chocolate bar. But we had the conversation. I can't go get a Twix from the corner store.
Can't get a Twix,
but I can see how
infected crowds, nigga.
But I can see how this can have people getting a chip. I can see this turning into a chip thing, and then we got the mark of the beast and all that extra stuff. So I think next week we should talk about that shit, or even on the pre-smoke show, which maybe the post-smoke, prior smoke. I don't know what the fuck we're doing right now.
Yeah, I know.
All I know is I'm gonna try and get this fucking audio and put it out. That's all I fucking know.
Oh yeah, do it, man. Let's do it. Fuck it. It is what is it this week? But yeah, fuck. I don't know, man. I don't know about Mark of the Beast or anything like that. I'm a little bit afraid of cashless society sometimes, just because, like I said, man, they could just shut you off. It isn't even about seizing shit. They could just be like, nigga, you ain't acting right. Turn off his money.
Like they own you.
Yeah. Like, what can you do?
They own you. Because you don't really have... It's... A cashless society is similar to owning music on a streaming service.
Yeah, you don't really own shit. You don't own
that
shit.
Isn't really your money.
Yeah. So
that's scary.
Yeah, man. That's why like the progression of them taking away our wealth is almost complete if they talk everybody into thinking that money is poison. And by money I mean cash.
Yeah, exactly. Your girl Bahamadia. I'm just looking through the Today in Hip Hop History, and I saw your homegirl. Okay, so we have, just before we move on, I mean, we got reviews, and we got the hip hop history, but just to touch back real quick on the J Electronica album, my boy Ezel Matthews out of North Alberta, Edmonton, says J Electronica isn't for everyone. Not everyone will get her, understand him. He is cool with that. He's not a pop rapper and doesn't want to be, even though people have tried. There's a reason Jay-Z had him signed for over 10 years and will do anything, whether it's musically or not. They call each other soulmates. J Electronica marches to her own beat and is very smart, spiritual brother, and most people won't understand what he's talking about if you do like the brother. I think there's more there, but it won't. I think it was a long thing. Let's put it there. How do you feel about that? I kind of agree. Like, I wouldn't even say kind of. I agree with that. I think that's basically what we've been trying to say, but we just, you know what I'm saying, being the niggas that we are, haven't been able to put it like that.
You know what, man? I think that is a perfect sentiment, honestly, your boy there, because that's what I mean by niggas always trying to put someone in a box, man. You know what I mean? Like, he's a different dude. It was a different album. I didn't feel like I needed it. Like, okay, again, because of the album and the fact that it wasn't all him, am I going to rate him higher as an MC? You know what I mean? No. Like, he ain't gonna get Elzai praise or Rock Marciano praise or any of those because, yeah, he wasn't on his own shit enough. Did I still enjoy the album? But I like that kind of different flavor. You know what I mean? I thought the beats were good because they were different. So
I fucks with it. I fucks with his message, even though a lot of the stuff I had to rewind. But I know that his shit was deep, and not deep like you don't understand saying Nas 2000 deep. Yeah. But he was speaking deep shit. He was speaking some knowledge. Sometimes you need knowledge, and a lot of people don't like knowledge. No. And we have one question from the viewers. DJ Tag says, do you think that they will have martial law? So I think he's assuming, or he's suggesting in regards to what's going on right now, the different type of things that they can have and they can take away. Do you think that they would incite martial law? Do you think that's a possibility?
I do. I can't remember exactly what they call it in Canada, Patriot Act or something, but basically our version of
Is it
martial law.
Securities Act? Securities
Yeah,
Act, yeah.
yeah, or something like that. Basically our version of martial law, and I do think that they'll bring it in. I mean, if the pandemic gets too bad, and so when my now fabled fighting off the COVID infected crowds for a Twix, so that day when I went there, there were people who didn't give a fuck.
Right.
And being as somebody who's kind of like chilled a little bit more in the house lately, haven't really gone nowhere, kind of understand what they're saying. Like, don't spread the shit, don't really want to spread it. I don't know exactly how much people believe in it or whatnot, but the fact is people like right in front of me, some dude walked up to one of the cashiers and talked like so close in her ear, like it made me cringe.
Oh no.
I was like, God damn, like people do not give a fuck. You know, some of the cleaners there and shit, like if we were in an aisle, they would fucking stop and not even come through the aisle anymore. Like they would wait till we left the aisle before they kept cleaning and shit. But there are people who because some days I look and I'm like, okay, everybody knows this shit is here. Everybody knows it's killing all these people. How come there's still fucking like hundreds of cases a day, man? Like, and then I see that and I'm like, oh, because lots of niggas don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's gonna spread. So if it starts to get to a really bad point to where we're starting to be like Italy, where it's like yesterday, I think 800 people died in Italy.
Yeah, Italy is getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. So if we get to that point, then I think they'll have to have it to the point where cops can be like, listen, fucking step back. Like, don't be breaking this shit. Because right now, people are still like, if you want, like, even yesterday, I was like just driving around and I saw like a big group of kids all just walking, all fucking close. And I'm like, the cops would be like, yo, you can't do that, man. I know y'all don't care. Like, so fuck. So,
but then it's like, you gotta be, if you're close with your family members, then right? Because I'm not practicing that meter away or anything from my wife or my kids, but they don't have any symptoms. But but then it's like, when you're with your people, like if me and my wife, like I want to take a walk today at least, try and get some of that energy and that fresh air and shit. Like you'll see me close with her. Right.
Yeah,
so if someone's with their homeboys and stuff like that, and you know that I guess it's tough because you're not around them 24/7.
Well, here's the thing. I would go as far as to say that anybody who is going to be in your home unit, it's like y'all are getting it or none of y'all are
already.
Yeah. So who cares about the commingling of in your house? Like you'll kiss your girl, nigga. Like who there? You just got the shit. So,
I've been scared because she's had to work, so I haven't kissed her on the lips in a week, which is making me crazy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's responsible.
The shit out of me. She's around people. I'm scared to death, nigga.
Yeah, but I mean, if she has it, nigga, she's like serving your meals and shit or whatever she's doing.
If she has it, I have it.
Right. So if I see a guy and his wife walking, holding hands and being close, I don't think nothing of it. You know, if I see like 10 kids in a big group, I know they don't live together.
True. Yep.
They're all going to go home, spread it to their parents or whoever they live with, and then they're going to spread it and they're going to spread it. Because one of the biggest problems with this shit is that you're asymptomatic, man. And that's the thing that scares me, right? Like people don't realize the differences between this and like the flu. It's kind of annoying actually, but this shit is pre-symptomatic. So the regular flu, generally you're most contagious after you get sick. So you're already fucked up. So it's easy to avoid. This shit is asymptomatic for like 14 days. So you could literally be walking around showing zero symptoms for weeks.
14 days we think.
Yeah, for weeks. And you're still giving it to everybody. And that's one of the reasons why they've instituted such harsh shit. Like just stay the fuck home. Because basically, if everybody just stayed home for 1 month, this would be over. Right? Because what's going to happen is, so we don't know the exact gestation time, but let's assume it's 14 days. Everybody, if they were in their house on day 14, everybody who's going to get sick gets sick. And then it's over. They recover as long as they stay in isolation, and then there's no more cases. But as long as everybody's just walking around like they don't give a fuck, not understanding because they just think that everybody wants to bring in martial law, which, you know, I don't think it's going to be like people getting beat in the streets like fucking some of that.
I think a lot of these conspiracy theories are making it worse.
Oh, absolutely, man. And I got to admit, being the original tinfoil, like, I do think shit's going on. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think 100% they're doing something. Like, I don't know. I just feel like they want us all in our houses right now. I don't know why. But again, if there's a virus spreading and could overwhelm the healthcare systems and fucking millions will die, well, that's why. You know what I mean? People look around and they're like, "Oh, this shit isn't bad. This shit is..." Yeah, because they locked the world down like fast. Could you imagine if they didn't? The numbers, guy. Like
it'd be on some motherfucking World War Z shit.
Yeah, it'd be like people dying. It's already on some half World War Z shit in like a place like Italy, right?
It's
like
scaring the fuck out of me. Like when I watch, like sometimes I had to tune the news out for a couple of days, and try and just get the regular headlines. But now the regular headlines is all COVID, so I had to chill for a second. But shit's scary as fuck. When you look at what's happening in Italy, when you look at all these, Europe is scary as fuck.
Yeah. Now I admit I don't think that we're gonna go like be as bad as Italy because they just have an older population and their customs are practically to kiss everybody. Like that's how they greet.
First meet like strangers. Yeah.
But they took it for a joke when they first heard about it, right? Like, and I find that here it's not going to be until like hundreds. Like I even asked one of my buddies because he was on some shit about that where he was like, "Oh well, you know, this is overstated and da 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 da." And I'm like, "Well, okay, so how much death do you need before you're like, okay, this is serious?" Because obviously, if that's your meter stick, then just tell me where it begins, and then I won't talk to you until. And you know what? Hopefully, it never does reach that, and you get to walk around and be like, "I'm right. Oh, see, I told motherfuckers." But look what we did to curb this, and the deaths are still tolling, guy.
I'd rather look stupid than dead.
Yeah, man. Like so, I don't know, man. I just think.
I mean, in cases like this, I mean, I guess that was a fucked up statement. Actually, I didn't think about it. Not in all cases. But I was telling the wife too, I'm like, we come from a culture of I haven't seen you in a couple of days, or I'm happy to see you. Let me remind you what my embrace feels like.
Yeah.
Even with your niggas is a dap and a hug. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's our culture. And we had to separate from that. And I think this is going to have some kind of, even when this goes good and everything like that, this is going to have some kind of negative ramifications on mental stability of humans. Because, I mean, human contact is, whether it's physical, whether it's close to physical, I mean, human contact, human interaction is a basic need like water, food, and shelter, I feel.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So, like they have studies where people die without it. Like, way earlier, like it's people. You need it. So
yeah. Well, that was that. Oh, one last thing. Because I really wanted to get your opinion on this. This is the only thing that's in the sheet, and I don't even fucking care because trust me, we all know how we were this last fucking week. The shit. I'm surprised we moving now.
Not only that, I feel like what happened? Like everyone's at home, nigga. Like
he said, what even happened?
Like what could happen?
Bro, I sat and watched. Do you know what cornholing is? I'm not talking about the weird shit. So you take the fucking bean bags and you throw it into the board that has a hole cut out.
Okay. I didn't know that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's called cornholing. So my dude Crumbs, do you remember Crumbs?
No.
White dude from Jersey?
No, not off by heart.
Live here. Oh yeah. Anyways, he posted it and it was like real thing, and it's like a broadcast, like how they do the World Poker Championships or darts or whatever. And it was like the cornholing championships. And dog, I've been missing sports so much, and the announcers are good at what the fuck they do to make this shit seem like it's exciting. I'll tag you in it if I can find it again. Yeah, I watched this for 28 minutes, fam.
Because you're just like something. I need something.
And I was just like, what a shot. And I'm like, oh, what a shot. And then I'm like, No, it wasn't. Fuck. Even though if I can't do this shit, this is not a fucking sport. And then it's like, how? Even if you started doing sports and then started smoking and then started smoking meth, this is a sport you could have got into and made money. I'm upset.
Yeah.
I said, as soon as I started smoking cigarettes and football wasn't an option after high school, I said, I'm just not going to fuck with sports. If I knew cornholing was an option, I would have started cornholing early. I don't know why they call it that shit.
I don't get it either.
This had to be a sport. I'm going to look it up. This had to be a sport that started in the southern United States.
When I think
That's the only way that cornhole.
When I think of cornholing, I think of them using dried kernels of corn in the beanbag and they're throwing it at a hole.
So when someone says cornholing, that's what you think of?
No, but when you say, how did they come up with that?
When it compared to the sport. Oh, okay.
For the sport, I think that's why.
Because I'm thinking to myself, like, if someone says cornholing, like,
you thinking like, get away from me.
Yeah, I'm like, me and you, we ain't doing that, fam.
Yeah, no,
we ain't cornholing. You ever had your shit pushed in?
Yeah.
Anyways, Tom Brady is going to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I did not see.
How is this gonna change football forever?
I don't know. I did not see Brady leaving fucking the Patriots.
There was rumors, like, if you're a Raiders fan, you hear the rumors of any position leaving, just the rumors. If it bubbles, Raiders fans know it because Raider fans want them. I don't care if it's Michael Vick is off probation, Raiders fans knew it first. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as we heard that, I heard it through the different forums and shit like that, and everybody's like, yeah, he's talking to he's talking to the Raiders Association. He likes Vegas and da da da. I'm thinking to myself, Brady ain't going to no motherfucking Raiders. I didn't know. I thought that he was going to. I knew he was. Well, I had an idea that he was going to leave, but I thought he was just going to retire.
Do you think that the Raiders are winning now with Brady on the team?
The Raiders or Tampa Bay?
I'm saying the Raiders.
Or you mean, so if the Raiders had Brady, would they be winning?
I think they'd win the Super Bowl.
It would take a while, and it would take a couple of years for the Super Bowl. But I feel like Brady's the type of quarterback that he's like, you know, when Bugs Bunny drank the regular water, but made the tunes feel like it was the super water. Yeah, that's Tom Brady. Tom Brady can light fires underneath motherfuckers that didn't have fires underneath them before.
Okay, so the two things I'm going to say is, one, that's why you knew he was not going to go to the Raiders. Right. Because if they're not winning right now, then he's not really trying to fuck with them.
Right. But Tampa Bay.
But, well, Tampa Bay, they've got good weapons and shit like that. I think with a quarterback there, at least in the convo. You don't think they have enough?
I'm thinking.
I don't think they have, like, superstar power. I know what you mean.
Did you see them last year?
Well, yeah, but Jameis Winston literally has thrown more picks than TDs.
I've seen
in his career
the Tampa Bay's offensive line so unorganized that a running back could not get past the line of scrimmage. Where a running back the running back wants to go this way, the offensive line steps back, and the running back, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, where it's like
like that. I don't know. I think they improved that a little bit. I don't know. I haven't really watched the Bucs, but I assume wherever he went must be in the somewhat of a win now position.
Who watches the Bucs? Except for Chris Hebert. Shout out to Chris Hebert. He's like the only nigga I know that's a you know Hebert. Yeah, I do. He's the only nigga I know that's a Tampa Bay fan.
I watched like 2 Bucs games after they were on Hard Knocks.
You watch Hard Knocks to do that to you.
Yeah, you're like, let me see what this is about.
Whatever team it is, like, yeah.
And then I watched like a game and I was like, nah, nigga, nah. Sorry. I watched 2 games and I was like, no, I cannot follow this. They're too horrible.
HBO Sports knows how to make HBO in general knows how to make any dramatic.
Well, that you know
what I mean?
what's doing that, especially that fucking NFL Films.
Music and the voice.
And fucking just the slow-mo of them just like ripping shit up. Like, oh fuck, NFL Films. Yo, if you ever watched the biography on the guy who started that, he was fucking made bank. Like he's a rich dude off that. Because he's the one who had that.
Like,
he's the one who had that idea to do all that slow-mo and have 10 cameras at the game and all that shit.
Just to get that, you just hear it's like, yo, Lambeau Field, 1969. And then the brisk wind flew in from the Arctic. Like, and you just like watching it. But
I was giving you the soundtrack.
If you watch the NFL Films, right?
Yeah.
And any team or player that they're talking about that's not on the Raiders, there's at least 4 highlights of them fucking up the Raiders. Every single one. At least 4 highlights of them fucking the Raiders up. There's probably more highlights of every team fucking up the Raiders than fucking up any other team. And I tell you right now, I love the NFL Network, but fuck the NFL Network. If you play the fucking Steelers catch, I can't remember what the miracle catch or whatever it's called that was made off of the Raiders back in the day, I'm going to come down to your fucking studios and kick somebody in the balls.
You know what would suck, man? It would
always play that shit.
It would suck to be a football player and then be the nigga who is under like the Odell catch and just know that for the rest of my life, I'm gonna be
the one that
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're the one that that, or like, so it's like, so there's different moments in sports history you don't want to be the other person of. So there's probably like 8 Jordan or 8 Carter dunks.
Yeah,
you don't want to be the other person of.
You're just forever
the old catching football. The dude that was the DB that was guarding Jerry Rice when Montana threw it to him and won the Super Bowl. Anybody guarding Jordan when he had the flu.
Yeah,
like,
that
you can't block
game. I know.
You know what I'm saying?
COVID.
What else was
just running the court?
The goalie for Russia when Canada beat them.
Because he's just like getting ate up.
Yeah, that wasn't like overtime, and then they all rushed the motherfucking ice, and it was like crazy. And I think that was U.S. and Russia. The U.S. and Russia won. And I know Canada, the Canada and the U.S. game is always a dope one. There's always, for every poster, there's someone getting posterized or whatever they call it.
Exactly, posterized. I would hate to have that.
And that's that was Shaq in the 90s when he played for Orlando.
Yeah. And there was one too, the one that, I can't remember if I think it was over Horace Grant or Jordan or something like that, but that one Starks dunk where fucking John Starks just dunked over the 2 dudes. It's like one of the most famous dunks. It even had a poster called The Dunk. Yeah. The poster was called.
I'm gonna see if I can find that because I could share my screen and shit. The dunk. There's was that the one where like he dunked over 2 dudes, but the nigga's fucking crotch was in the other nigga's face and shit like that, and he was like all like all out like that, or was
I think it was like 2 big dudes. Look it up. The Dunk. John Starks. New York Knicks.
I'm looking for that right now.
But yeah, man. So, what are you gonna be doing for this week as far as COVID goes? While you look that up, are you just gonna be still? Are you still on the? Shit! Alberta just fucking reported 226 cases.
226 more?
No, that's how many we have now.
Oh, okay. So that's not a huge jump from what we had before. Because I think before we had like 190 something.
Yeah, we've been going up like it's only like 30 a day, which seems okay.
It's all right. It's relatively, I guess, like it's relatively okay. So, here we go. Here it is. Let me just open this shit up. Oops. Relatively, it's okay, but I mean, at the end of the day, are you gonna give me YouTube, you cocksucker? Open image.
Sometimes I just go after you Google the shit, just go images instead of.
I'm on images. I just had to get the actual image here. So okay, there we go. And let me just share my screen. We'll just share the whole. Right here.
Yeah, it was over Jordan. Yeah, I knew it was over Jordan and like Horace Grant.
There it is, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just gonna leave that up there while we talk. Um, relatively having the low cases is good, and I think like I feel like I'm learning new fucking words and shit like that I've and phrases that I've never used before. Social distancing is a new one for me.
Yeah.
I like I feel like a millennial made that shit up.
Yeah, I
Like
feel like
let's
that's so
stay the
millennial.
fuck away from me, as and Canadian. I feel like social distancing is a millennial and Canadian thing. Um, so and what is it? Flattening the curve.
Oh yeah, exactly. Flattening the curve, making sure that the shit doesn't spread as fast and as because that's the real problem with it. It's not like the most deadly thing. It's not the Black Plague. You know what I mean? It's not like you get it and you die. But the problem is that if everybody gets sick at once, that's when the real suffering occurs.
Yeah, and you know how uncomfortable the test is?
It's
like they put the Q-tip in your nose and they put it like up, like all the way to the back of your sinuses to get
ow.
that swab. Yeah, so it's not even like something like it's one of those things where it's like you don't even want to go in for the test. Stay the fuck away from everybody.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck away from
Ow.
everybody. Like like if you like we go to the store for smokes, you get gas, whatever the fuck you need to do, cool. Keep your social distance, don't touch shit, keep your motherfucking hands are fucking dry as fuck. Keep your Purell with you when you get home, wash up from fucking shoulder to hand, shit like that. Shit, it's got me scared enough sometimes when I coming back in the house, I'm showering again.
Yeah, like I definitely
I'm
like
freaked the fuck out.
the clothes I wore out, I definitely come home and those go right to the wash pile, and then I get my safe clothes on, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just my nice fucking chill arounds where I know that it doesn't have no fucking COVID on it.
I think black people are going to fare better in this than anybody else because black people have weird fucking things that they like to do. Like for me, change your outside clothes when you get in the house.
Yeah.
Don't lay in the bed with your outside clothes. You dig what I'm saying? I like my household is you wash your hands you're always washing your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Oh, you just had this? Wash your hands.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw you scratching your face. Wash your hands.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And then even me, I'm glad before I went out, I got a bunch of these tissues. So even sometimes, when I want to touch my face or something, I'll just grab a tissue.
Yeah, you wipe your eyes and shit.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things where it's like, okay, so careful when you're touching your face. But if I'm at home as often as I am, do I need to worry about touching my face? Because nobody else is in my environment.
No.
But then it's like,
that's what,
hit me with that.
That's what we even said. So at this point, we are like, unless you bring in anything from the outside, if you come home, those clothes get dashed immediately, you wash up immediately. Fairly, everything is in my house right now has been in here for like days, right? So you're pretty safe. It only lives on surfaces for a couple days. So once we're inside and washed up, no, I feel good about like just doing anything, right?
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. This is okay, cool. All right, so I'm a huge hypochondriac, but I'm in myself. I think let's listen to these people the quick knowledge, and then we're gonna do a review.
All right.
Coronavirus symptoms. Okay, so if you are feeling these symptoms, doesn't mean go to a hospital. You know what I'm saying? Call 811 or whatever and do your things, and stay away from people that may have these symptoms, or you know what I'm saying, if someone in your household has these symptoms, do the right measures. The highest symptom is a fever.
Yeah.
Underneath the fever is a dry cough, which is fucking weird. I've never seen a dry cough with pneumonia.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Right? Like pneumonia is fluid in the lungs. Fatigue.
But this one is it's fluid regardless. But because I was reading something what they were saying that it was, I didn't understand what was happening. But I guess your airways are getting so filled up with mucus that it's and then it hardens.
Something weird, like it's a fucked up thing. Like it's fucked up. I've had chemical and it's not fun.
You've had pneumonia?
Yeah, chemical pneumonia. I got chemical pneumonia from spraying. Actually, I'm not gonna say the name because I don't know if he wants me to put him on blast. But me and my dude were back in the mid 2000s, early to mid 2000s. You know when the fucking bomber jackets were in.
Yeah.
So we hit a lick and we got a bunch of bomber jackets from different. Like I had a Boston one, yeah, LA Dodgers throwback that was baby blue. Yeah, like we had some dope bomber jackets, and we wanted to make sure that they'd stay within the weather. So we were spraying it. We were in the house or in my apartment spraying it down with like the sneaker protector.
Yeah, the protector, Nubuck protector.
Yeah,
and shit.
we didn't open any windows or anything like that. We were high as fuck, and we just spraying it down, chilling, listening to music, smoking blunts, smoking cigarettes, watching BET. And we both caught chemical pneumonia because we went through like 2 cans of that shit on all these bomber jackets and didn't open up any windows and shit. Wasn't fun.
So did you feel like you were like drowning and shit?
You didn't feel like you were drowning, but you could feel like it's a struggle to breathe. You feel like something's in your lungs. You're always coughing, and sometimes it'd be crazy to catch your breath to the point where you're starting to get lightheaded and get dizzy, and you feel like you're gonna pass out because you're like, and you're not. The oxygen's going into you. It's not going to where it needs to go. That's what it feels like.
That's crazy.
It's fucked up. And maybe 2013, 2014, I got chemical pneumonia from a vape. I had some I had an old vape. Yeah, I wanted to quit smoking. I had an old vape that I used to use, and I had vape juice that was like years old. And they gave me it was expired. And that shit fucked me up too. And that wasn't as bad, but it was a lot of nasty coughing from the lungs.
Yeah.
And it's like you know when you're sick and you have that mucus when you cough?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like mucus when you cough, but you're not sick. You don't feel sick.
Just a mucusy cough and it probably never comes up.
Yeah, but something comes up. But it's like it's like digging a hole and then shoveling it back into the hole.
Oh, okay.
While you're in the hole. Right? It's
because
weird.
it's producing it so fast, right? That's the problem and why you're drowning and shit.
Exactly. Fatigue. And fatigue has to do with symptoms of pneumonia, like you're not getting oxygen, you're you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sputum production, don't know what that means. Shortness of breath, of course.
Sputum.
And
I think that's basically mucus.
Okay. Oh, okay. So that's okay.
Yeah.
Muscular joint, and a lot of these are symptoms of getting older.
Yeah. That's why you got to be careful. You know what I mean? Like, because you don't know if you might not even have a shit.
I came from the gym. I'm like, fuck. I hope I don't got nothing in my body. Like the next day, I'm so sore. Right?
Yeah.
Muscles or joint pain, sore throat, headache, chills. Not now. The low ones, right? This is what kind of separates it from the flu: nausea or vomiting. I mean, when you have the flu, sometimes it's like you're throwing up all the time. Nasal congestion and diarrhea. Those are the low ones. So I know people say that this is the flu, but there's so many symptoms that are so different from the flu. You really can't say, oh, I have flu type symptoms. This is what it is, right? So definitely, all I can say is stay the fuck away from people. Yeah. Unless it's your people, unless it's people you've been around, stay the fuck away from people.
I actually have I put together all these stats for a lot of it just because I am sometimes sick of everybody just saying that it's the regular flu. So
yeah,
I definitely
Sunday?
I can hit them now or Sunday, whatever you want.
You got them now?
Yeah, I do actually.
Oh, hit them.
Okay,
if you have anything like a picture file or anything like that, and you want to send me so I could put it on the screen.
There's nothing. Yeah, sorry. There's nothing to really share. I just hand wrote it, but just because I just wanted because I wanted to do my own research as far as I wanted to do my own research because everybody says, "Oh, it's just the flu. It's just the flu." So I kind of wanted to do my own research to see if it truly is just the flu.
I am going to try and make you. Oops! Oh shit! Hold on. I want to try and make you the big one. So I'm gonna pull myself. Wait, add this to the. No, I'm gonna pull myself out of the stream, and so it's just you. So I want you to give these niggas. No,
Don't go that
I
far.
want to make it big. So it's you, because you like the you speaking of. Why is it just?
How come I can't?
Goddamn.
Maybe I can do that.
Yeah. Do you have one that looks like?
No, I don't.
I
Don't
don't
worry
know. Try
about it.
clicking the things on the bottom. You can't do it.
No.
No. See, that just fucks you up. No, there's that. There's this. That makes me big. I don't want me big. That's fuck.
Anyways.
All right, just hit him with hit him with it.
Okay, so according to the CDC, from 2018 to 2019, I believe this is in the U.S., there were 35.5 million cases of the regular flu last year. Of those cases, there was 34,200 deaths, and that's why people are like, yeah, like a lot of people die from the flu. So
I have
the thing
some
is,
things I want to say, but I already know you're gonna hit on them, so I'm just gonna let you.
So the thing is that equals out to like a 0.0009% death rate. So not even close to nothing. So when they tell you that COVID is 1 to 3% deadlier, the death rate is 1 to 3%. So the regular flu 0.0009, COVID 1 to 3. So let's even take the median of that, 2%. So if 2% of the people, which you can see on the news, that's the numbers right now, 2% of the people died. So if 35.5 million people got COVID, there would be 710,000 deaths as opposed to 34,000. So it's way deadlier.
Fucking crazy.
It's deadlier across the entire spectrum. That's their statistics of the flu. Now,
this is CDC.
Yes. When it comes down to even the regular transmission, this shit they say, see, some people are like, oh, you don't have a chance to get it. It's just, but the regular flu, everybody could get it. It's not hard to get. So the regular flu, when one person has it, they generally transmit it to 1.3 people on average. Whereas with COVID is 2 to 3 people. So not only is the death rate way higher, but you are spreading it to more people than you would the regular flu. So then we even look at the hospitalization rate. So before you
get there, I just want to talk about the spreading it, and just to add to the scariness of the amount of people you can spread it to. Yeah. You with the flu, you're spreading it to people while showing symptoms.
Yes. 4 days after yes.
You can have COVID and recover from COVID and never know that you have COVID.
Yeah.
You can have a mild tickle in your throat and never know that you have COVID.
Never know that you had COVID.
So you can spread that to 2 to 3 people who will have major symptoms and possibly die without you showing symptoms. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Absolutely. And they say that 13% of the cases of COVID right now are people who passed it with having no symptoms, meaning it's an asymptomatic thing, which the regular flu is not. It's very rare cases where you're not already visibly sick and passing it. So even the avoiding, that's why it's so hard to avoid it. That's why when I even hear of this, like 30 new cases a day, 100 new cases, you're like, how long was this really running unchecked?
Yeah, there's stories about remember that flu that was going around towards the end of last year. Remember, I had not the flu, but I was sick, and then I had the cough that wouldn't go away.
Yeah,
there's rumors going around that was a low grade of what's happening now.
Because who knows?
It was like 2 months that cough was going.
Some fucking tinfoil people think that this shit's been around since like August. And that's why it's like, oh shit. I don't know why everybody's getting sick now, so I kind of don't believe that, because it's clear that the incubation period is like, you couldn't have, like, if everybody was spreading it hardcore for months, we would see. But again, maybe they didn't even know what it was. So many people die from the flu anyway.
And you look at the common cold. You can't have a vaccine for the common cold because the common cold is different every year.
Exactly. And that's exactly like them with this flu. And even all those flu shots you get, they are just guessing what next year's strain will be. And they're trying to hit you up with the antibodies. So
yeah, it's so, and even Daniel Vex, I know you got the signs, we're gonna keep going. Even Daniel Vex said there could be a cure with malaria drugs The doctor took 40 patients and 100% of them have recovered,
That's dope.
which is dope. But if it comes back again and it grows an immunity for that drug,
you're finished. Well, dude, even when you look at the Spanish flu or anything like that, or anything really serious that happened, it wasn't until it mutated. Like the original Spanish flu wasn't that serious, and it was just like this with not that many deaths, and everybody took it as a joke, and then it mutated, and there was people dead in the streets, right? Like that's people don't understand that. And again, I'm not saying that this is the path we're on. I'm just saying this is what could happen. Do you know what I mean? I'm not fucking here
we need to act like it is.
Yeah. So
we need to act like this is the path we're on. Like at the end of the day, if people are dying from this shit, we need to act like it's that serious.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like
it's one of those things where it's like, okay, if we look stupid and crazy for acting like it's that serious and not a lot of people die, that's a better outcome than not. And a lot of people do die.
Yeah. Yeah. And because
hit me with some more.
Well, I was just going to say it's because people took it serious fast. That's why you're not seeing like Black Death out there. Because look at how fast they shut the fucking world down. As soon as the shit started to run rampant, like we don't even have a fucking NBA season and shit. Like these are billionaires losing hundreds of millions of dollars in TV contracts, nigga. Like if this was just some dumb little joke, they would not stop that. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, when you look at the hospitalization rates, so the regular flu of all those people who get it, the numbers I showed earlier, about 2% end up in the hospital, and they averagely stay about 5 to 6 days. So with COVID, 19% of cases end up in the hospital, and you're there for 11 days. And the average stay is 11 days. So that's when we start to get down to a stress on the system. And that's why some people, they don't look kind of big picture with some of this stuff. Like they're just like, oh, fuck you, bro. I'm good. And it's like, yeah, but then you pass it to people, and then the ERs get stuffed jammed with people who can't breathe. And then what do you think happens when your mom has a heart attack? You think they're making it out? The hospitals are full. Doctors are getting COVID. Like even in Italy, it's like 8 or 10 doctors are dead. What do you fuck you think happens when all the doctors die, man? Like you got to look big picture. That's why we're trying to do like some sort of protecting. I'm not saying to panic buy or be like retarded or anything like that, but just the fact that people are like, oh, it's just a regular whatever. Not quite, man. And these are the stats, right? So what's actually happening, and one of the most frightening things about something that has no vaccine, means that when you go to the hospital because you can't breathe, there's nothing they can do for you. So they literally like intubate you, like put a tube in your throat and open your airways, something to breathe for you. And they hope that your system naturally grows the antibodies to fight it before you die. That's what they're doing for you. That's why the ventilators are so important. So they're not curing you, nigga. Like there is no vaccine. So they're literally hoping that your body fights it natural while machines breathe for you. So, yo, man, I'm not even trying to end up in a hospital. You know what I mean? Like that's why some people are just like, oh, don't worry. I'm not trying to end up in a hospital. I don't even want to be in there for a week. Like the way that niggas act, like nigga, if you have a regular flu, I'm not sharing blunts with you. So I don't know why this shit you'd think I would be regular. I'm not even regular with regular flu. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm not really trying to fuck with that. So yeah, the hospitalization rates are way higher. You know what I mean? Now, when you think about it right now, a lot of people... We got
2 more minutes on here. 2 more minutes on this.
Okay, I got 2 more quick minutes. The last thing I was going to say is that that's the reason why some of this social distancing is happening. They're not trying to lock you in your house. So there's disease centers. They always do simulations of things. The simulations out right now on a good scale, only 20 to 30% of the planet's going to get this. So we're talking 2 billion people are going to get this over the time of this, is what they suspect. And if we didn't institute the social distancing and trying to at least curb the spread, they're saying that 80% of the planet could get this. So those numbers are frightening, guy. Like you do fucking 3% of 6 billion. Like that's millions dead. So, hey man, if you want to believe it's just a regular flu, cool, live your life, but just don't spread your shit around. You know what I mean? And try
Don't
to
come
fucking
around me.
try to curb that shit. So I hope I kind of illustrated a little bit why the tax on the system is part of what's big about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I fucks with that.
So
All
yeah.
right, so let's do thank you very much. Actually, at the end of the day, I gotta give you a shout out because you do more research than I do, and I appreciate that.
Well,
Sometimes I want to know.
Everybody says it's just like the regular, so I wanted to see for my fucking self. You know what I'm saying? That's all I wanted to do, just to see if I could walk around. You know, if it wasn't worse, then I don't want to be sitting here perpetuating something weird. So
let's do on a lighter note today, hip hop history.
Yeah, what you got for today on hip hop history?
For me, what do I have for today in hip hop history? For me, I'm just bringing it up on this computer. I want to try and see if I can share it. I can share it today in hip hop history. Oh, what's this? Oh, this brought up Instagram and shit. I want Instagram. All right, fuck it. Today in hip hop history, Criss Cross released their debut album, Totally Crossed Out, on March 17th, 1992. I can't even front on this one here. Where is it now? What the fuck am I doing with my life? There we go. Today in hip hop history, Criss Cross released their debut album, Totally Crossed Out, March 17th, 1992. I was 12 or 13 years old with my pants backwards. I got my mom to grab me, like, this is back when you can get jerseys and shit on the low and shit for cheap and shit like that. I was totally crossed out through this motherfucker. This is one of the albums that set a staple for me for sure. How did Criss Cross affect you?
Yo, man, all I gotta do is sorry about the delay here, but I don't have the dual monitors. But yo, I was gonna say, man, my moment in hip hop history is also totally crossed out. Fucking Criss Cross, yo. Like when I was a kid, they made me think I could rap because they were kids rap. I was like, yo, man, no, little niggas could do this. Like it just really.
Some of them rap, but they can't rap like this.
Yeah, and actually, I can honestly say. It sounds horrible, but I can't remember the exact show I was watching, but they were doing some sort of like NBA thing, and there was like all these girls around, and I was like, I don't know why it hit me. It was like, nigga, if you dress fly, there's bitches. I don't know, it was just them with the jerseys and shit. And ever since then, I actually started to care about clothes and like dressing nice. So like Criss Cross had affected me lots when I was a kid, man, for sure. That's
I remember I heard that they got discovered rapping at a mall, and like me and my cousins would be rapping everywhere we went just because we heard that Jermaine.
He's not in LA. That's just a kid in you, man. You just like you're like, yo, kid. As soon as fucking that's awesome. But they weren't even rapping, dude. I think they were just walking. And Jermaine Dupri went up to them in the mall and was like, yo, do y'all rap? And they were like, no. And he's like, that's interesting because y'all have that look. And so then he started working with them, and then fucking that was it. Like, and I remember because you know what? Because I actually used to really like Another Bad Creation.
ABC. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Remember Aisha and fucking At the Playground, you know? Playground. So I actually used to like them niggas. So when Criss Cross first came out and we're just like dissing them and shit, I was like, oh shit, that was like my first battle. It was like my first fucking diss tracks back and forth was Criss Cross, nigga.
Back and forth or just
well, they didn't go back and forth. Just okay, so just one line in one song, but still. The fact is that everything was to the back with a little slack. Cause inside out, wiggity. And the other, they had one more line. They had one more line. Fucking don't try to compare us to another bad little fad. I thought that was dope too. I was like, oh,
man, giving you something that you never had. I'll make you bump, wiggle, and shake, bump. We be kicking.
They'll make you want to jump. How
high? Real high. Cause we just so high.
Now the shit is in sync.
All right, so that was it. Crisscross, 1992.
Absolutely.
Oh shit, I gotta get that shit.
Affecting
1992, March 17th. Like, who gives a fuck about the month and the day? But okay, so we have a review. I'm just trying to get the picture up so we can bring it up here, and I can't find a good quality. So we're just gonna do this one here.
So
we do have a review.
I would have been 12 and you'd have been 14, right? Or no, no, you were 12, I was 14.
Wow. Okay, we're stopping this, man. You did.
The point wasn't the ages. The point was that I just think that I just think that what?
I would have been 12 into 13, yeah.
And you were 12, I was 14. So I'm just, the only point I'm trying to bring up is that we probably felt Crisscross differently because I was a teen. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I had hair on my balls and shit. You were still 12, so.
Yeah, it was like, I was in March to September. I turned 14, or I turned 13 in September. So those 5 months, or whatever the fuck it was the difference between hair on my nuts and not.
Exactly. And actually.
And then you got to think, I lived in Calgary, so we probably got Crisscross a year later. So I was probably 13 in the 14 when I first heard Crisscross.
That could be a possibility, but the point is,
I hate you. That's the point. The point is I hate you. That's the fucking point. Fucking nigga.
No, man, I'm just saying shit. It might not even be a full 2 years now that you mention it.
Well, fuck
shit,
it,
that's
nigga.
crazy.
I fucked with Crisscross heavy, nigga. I still sometimes feel like today I want to wear my shit backwards. Anyways, smoking partners.
Chip. Currency and
Fendi P.
What'd you think?
I remember I sent you this shit. I sent you this shit after we picked the album we wanted to review.
Mm-hmm.
This, to me, makes up for the last Currency album we reviewed.
Okay.
And B, has been in heavy rotation on my YouTube music playlist since I sent you the link. I fucking love this album.
Why would you go to YouTube?
I have a Google Play Music subscription.
Okay.
And I know that Google Play Music is phasing out. So now I'm just trying to have everything on my YouTube Music. And Spotify, I only use Spotify for podcasts and shit now.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. I've had a Google Play subscription since I started with the Google and got the extended room on my Google Drive and all that shit.
So why aren't you feeling spotty?
It's not that I'm not feeling it. It's just I'm like, I have an Android phone. I use my PC as most as I can. I'm really like intertwined in the Google infrastructure. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm just Googled out.
You just Googled out.
And Spotify, and you know me, I pay for, like, I love music, and I don't have a proper spot to obtain ownership of copies of music anymore. Shout out to Rap Godfathers.
Yeah, whatever happened, come back. I haven't looked.
I haven't even checked either.
You never know,
I
man.
wish
It might be back by now, though. Because you know that shit always comes back.
But when you open up a website and you get like the government of United States fucking splash screen, that kind of fucks with you.
True.
It kind of fucks with your head. But yeah, Rap Godfathers was my shit. Shout out to IP. He's the one who fucking hit me to the Rap Godfathers, and that used to be my go-to for all my shit. But I love the album. What did you think about the album?
I thought it was pretty good, man. You know what I mean? I thought it was. Sorry
How
about
long
that.
is that delay?
I thought it was pretty
Was that
good.
a delay?
I think so. I thought it was. I thought it was pretty dope, man. It wasn't bad. I felt it was a pretty chill album. It didn't really bug me too much. I do think it made up for the last Currency albums, but it wasn't like amazing to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't say amazing. Yeah. Definitely a welcome change to, because remember we did the last Currency album and I was pissed off.
That was not good. That was not good.
And I like the fact that Currency is the type of nigga that's where it's like, okay, if you didn't like the last album, wait 8 days.
Yeah, because this puts out a lot of shit.
The hardest working nigga in Louisiana. And Currency's the type of artist that he has that lane.
Yeah.
You know what content you're getting with Currency.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You know you're getting the car culture, you know you're getting the weed culture, you know you're getting that semi-fly but not Maybach Rick Ross, but you're getting that your girl just, you know, dispensary weed pop jar type culture.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I fucks with it. Like, Currency has his lane. He stays in his lane. He's his independent music doesn't stray from that, and he knows his fans. He knows, and he still gathers new fans along the way. And he stays with it. And I think his consistency, even when he does put out bad shit, because you can't expect someone that puts out an album every 17 minutes to have everything dope as fuck. Even when he does put out bad shit, you know that you're not going to forget about him because there's good shit coming. He's like the bus.
Yeah.
You miss one, you're gonna get one right after.
Exactly. And I agree, man. I think that you definitely know what you're getting with Currency, and he definitely stays true to it. That's absolutely I feel like it is, like you said, there's a little bit of a Rick Ross to him, but maybe down a notch. You know what I mean? He's like Rick Ross, but a little more gutter.
Yeah.
But he's talking about those fly whips, foreigns, and shit like that. So yeah, man, I thought it was pretty dope.
Any standouts that you thought?
Shit, man, I actually forgot to write down the tracks, so I'm gonna have to send you my standouts because I don't remember the exact track titles. But I think, was it The World I Know or Swang? One of those two. I remember it was near the beginning. I was like, oh shit, I was really feeling that. Again, it was kind of an album that I don't think that I would have tons of this on my playlist.
On heavy rotation, yeah.
But it's definitely a good kickback. You know what I mean? It's definitely good kickback. So,
and this is a weed smoker's album. Like, every time I listen to like good Currency albums that I enjoy, I feel like I want to start smoking weed again.
Yeah, absolutely a weed smoking album. So, what would you give it?
I'm leaning towards a 3.5 to a 4. I'm gonna say, because of the last one we gave a 4, I'm gonna say 3.5. I'm gonna give it Smoke Upon Us.
Okay, I think that's a pretty good. I personally was gonna say 3, because I did find it. I did find it a little bit better than average for sure, but 3.5. I feel like I want at least a couple tracks on my playlist. Like, something was really knocking to me. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna go with the 3.
We'll go with the 3 on the I Want All the Smoke playlist. What we're gonna do, we're gonna put on, because I think between the two of us is either gonna be The World I Know or Swang. And as far as I Want All the Smoke. As far as skip duplicate. As far as what I was gonna put on, I'm gonna put on Swang. So if you were going between The World I Know or Swang,
then let's just put those, if I put on call it there.
Exactly. So those I Want All the Smoke playlist. Don't forget, go on Spotify, the platform I don't fuck with. You'll see our playlist on there. It's public because I figured out what the fuck I'm doing. And those are the two. So if I had to lean into a 3.5 from a 4, you had to go from a 3 to a 3.5 between there. I wouldn't be mad. Let's give it a 3. Let's give them the mid grain.
I was gonna say 3.5. I accept.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, let's do it. Let's do the 3.5. We'll accept the 3.5. It was mid grain. In my opinion, it was a little higher than the regular mid grains in there. And it's definitely some of these songs may not be on my regular playlist, but if it popped up, I wouldn't skip any of the songs out of the 9 songs on here. If they popped up, I wouldn't skip them. But
that's what I had. That's why I wanted to go 3 above average, because there was nothing skippable to me. Like, it all just vibed. Like, I felt the vibe the whole time, but there's nothing that I was like, shit, man, this has to go on a playlist immediately.
Right.
So
when I heard Swang had me.
That was where you're like, okay,
that was my, because it was just how I love Griselda for their gangster fly, and I love Currency for his nonchalant fly.
Yeah,
like I'm so fly, I ain't gotta be fly to be fly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love
like,
that back fly.
Yeah. He's definitely like just a cool nigga. Like you picture this dude fucking just moving kind of slow, you know what I mean? One of those niggas who's just always kind of slow. Like, I don't know. It's
I need me a Currency and Devin the Dude full length 90-minute album.
Yeah.
That shit would be fly. Devin the Dude on the beats and doing his crooning. And Devin the Dude, please give us more music. I've been fucking with Devin the Dude since niggas thought he was from California.
What, when he was on the toilet?
No, that's even before that. I'm talking about so when he was like, I'll be in and shit, like that was my jam. I'm like, this nigga's gonna rap about him taking a shit. Like, this is the persona that I need to embrace myself. If this nigga can talk about I'll be in the bathroom doobie ass Trey is my shit. But remember he was all over Chronic 2000 or 2001 with Trey, and people thought he was from Cali. Like, I just want to fuck you. No kissing and hugging, girl. You got a husband who love. Like, I just want to fuck you. No kissing and hugging, because you got a husband who loves you. Like, what?
Yeah. Just, yeah.
All right, so Smoking Partners, Currency, and Fendi P. It's only 9 songs, only 26 minutes. One of the things that drew me back from it, from giving it a 4 to a 4.5. Definitely short. It was definitely an album that made me say, hey, I want to hear a little bit more. But between the man Idol and myself, we do give it a 3-point fizzle. Fizzle means 5 in the hood.
Yeah.
And that's about it. We had the 2:10 mark, 2 hour. I mean, I'm surprised we actually got in a little bit longer than we usually do. Doing from over the airways, live via satellites and shit like that. Let these motherfuckers know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook at Idol. You know what I mean? You can find me Instagram Idol_1. You can find me on Twitter Idol1. You know what I mean? Follow me on all that shit. No underscore, just the straight Idol1. You can find more of my shit as well on Idol times Jack Mills. You're definitely gonna get some musical updates on that kind of shit. So
that's how you know we old. This is Idol X Jack Mills. You can't just be like we still niggas are saying £sign and shit like that. A lot of our viewers are young. So Idol X Jack Mills. We say Idol times Jack Mills. They go TIM.
Oh yeah. True. I guess you're right. Idol X Jack Mills, nigga.
That's dope. You can find me at I Am Will Hayes on all platforms. Don't forget to look for us, the duo, the world's most dangerous podcast, the niggas you love to hate, but you hate to love, but you still do it anyways. _ I want all the smoke on Instagram. I want all the smoke pod on Twitter, or just search I want all the smoke podcast on Facebook. You will find us. Digital Diamond Network, thank you very much for putting us through. I heard that the people that work for you are the best people in the fucking world. You have the most handsomest niggas working at Digital Diamond Network, and the charisma in that office is off the fucking chain. It's so sweet. Oh my God, they can't handle it. They can't handle the charisma of Digital Diamond Network. Other than that, you got any shout outs? Anybody else that you want? Anybody that you want to fucking give big ups to? Anything?
Nah, man, big up to everybody. So everybody fucking just stay strong. You know what I mean? I know we'll get through this shit. Stay home. It sucks, but think of how nice it's gonna feel when the summer comes. You just go out. Hopefully, we'll be past this. You know what I mean? So
I hope so. That foreign needs to hit the summer. The foreign needs to hit the summer, my G. I need to. 17th Avenue. You sitting in the foreign, cruising.
Yeah, I agree 100, man. Hopefully we're back to that.
We will be. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody. People who listen, people who don't listen, people who at this point in time, I just want to let humanity know that we will get through this. You know what I'm saying? The world's doing a little cleanse right now, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully when we get out of this, maybe we'll treat our planet better and we'll treat our people better. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to look at the places that have been on total lockdown and how they're getting more beautiful.
Yeah.
Because humans aren't in it.
That's right.
That was another thing.
Running, clean, fucking pollution going away. It doesn't in a fucking month, and shit's just like. So if you don't think the Earth can bounce back, I'm not saying to just go and wreck shit. I'm just saying fuck, the Earth bounces back.
Thanos snapped his fingers in 2020.
Yeah, That's what this is, man.
But yes, and I just want to give a shout out to Idol. I just want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm feeling like I just need to let the people know that help me and help what I love get to the point where it's at.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? And putting that dedication and that hard fucking work for shit that they don't even have to, because they have so many different things that they have to put in that hard dedication work. So I just want to say thank you to my nigga Idol. I want to give a shout out to Jack Mills. Jack doing his thing, gave me a shout out on this shit. So I got to give Jack Mills a shout out. And I want to give a shout out to Idol X Jack Mills, because they are making music that I wish that made me say, fuck, I wish I would have got on that fucking bandwagon and sent them beats when I said I was going to.
There's still time, man.
Fire. And that's it. So then we're gonna do it right this time, okay?
Okay.
You ready? Hold on. I got on the end broadcast, okay. And with that,
we
out this
motherfucker.
Fucker.
Peace, y'all.